podcast ever recorded, and today we're breaking all the laws. Are we copies, or is it really us? Pull down those eyelids, boys. It's time to go.
Everybody, check for dots.
Is that a sty?
Yeah.
I don't see any dots. I'll trust you for now.
Okay.
All right. What's up, guys?
It's a freckle, I swear.
Yeah, right.
Welcome in, everybody.
My dots are on my stink eye.
Got it. I think was it the left eye?
It's your
or
left
is it
eye.
both?
It's got to be your left eye.
That's why.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, boy. Hey, we got the mad genius, Joe Goratowski, in the house.
Hello, everybody.
Again.
Hello. I know I've been on a lot lately.
What made us so lucky? 2 weeks out of 3, we got Joe in here.
Don't worry, I'm off for the rest of the month.
Well, you know, I am worried
be
about it
off.
because
Be quiet.
I know how upset you get the closer we get to Santa with Muscles season in December,
You
right?
shut your face.
I'm just saying, you know, everybody gets worried about Mariah Carey coming out and starting singing the song and all that
Yeah, I
stuff.
know.
But for you, I just picture you thinking about Hulk Hogan with those kids hanging off of his arms.
Is that what it is? Just
Fraggle
the,
Rock. That's the that's.
Well,
I can't wait though.
Yeah.
I can't wait to replace the movie with another bad movie,
Yeah.
and I will replace it.
Oh, you'll find one.
I will find one, and I will.
Had you
replace
been
it.
on slapstick of another kind, I think that would have been
think so?
it for you.
What about the Jerry Lewis one?
That's the
That's
one.
the
That's
one.
Is that the one you're talking
Had
about?
you been on that one, I think you would have.
You think so?
You'd have a new one, but we'll see. We'll find. I'll find one for you next time you're on.
Okay.
Watch it.
What the hell was I saying? Something. Doesn't matter. Because Ryan Farrell is in the house. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up?
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah? You
Yeah.
good? You having a good, when was the last time I saw you? I think it's been almost a month, I feel like. It's been
It
a
was
while.
for Child's Play.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
But no more Child's Play here.
No.
Just a little bit.
More creepy dolls,
No.
though. We'll talk about
No Chucky, but some Sin Pal Cindy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And for the first time since Napoleon Dynamite,
Oh, wow.
Brady Cox,
him a-
straight
yes,
off the
yes.
bus, train, plane, car,
Automobile.
planes,
Oh.
trains. Ooh,
Jinx.
Oh, Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
That was
Nice.
a triple
You
jinx.
got
all
it
the
out
way
first.
from Nebraska. Welcome back, man.
Thank you. It's good to
been
be
too
here.
long.
It's good to be anywhere.
Yeah. I remember, now you didn't know you were doing this, but when you said, hey, I'm coming in this weekend, I called dibs. Whenever Brady's in town, Brady gets on the show. That's
Yes.
how this works.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm glad that you're here and that you don't have any time for jibber jabber.
Right.
That's important too. He's got his Mr. T-shirt on.
T-shirt on. Yeah.
I pity the fool.
He came on a podcast, but he doesn't have time for jibber jabber. And I think
No.
our whole show is nothing but jibber jabber.
Yeah.
I thought it was fitting.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, awesome, guys. Well, we're here to talk about The Sixth Day, directed by Roger Spottiswoode.
Oh, one of your favorites.
Yeah, buddy.
Come on. This is
mean Sorry.
Third,
this is
I think third.
third, fourth movie of his on the show.
Are there?
I thought you talked about the Sixth Sense.
No. The Sixth Sense was a movie by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's going to be a short show for me.
You said that one with that 80s action star. I said
I'm
yes.
joking. I kid.
The one with the 80s action star.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
I know.
Sixth Sense.
Technically,
Or The Sixth
I
Day.
was wrong. I should have been more specific.
Yeah,
because
fair.
both fit that description for
Yes.
sure. Now, Roger Spottiswoode, maybe it's our fourth, but the only ones I remember that he did was
Let's see, you got Air America,
Air America.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yeah,
And now we have The
and
Sixth Day.
I think this is the third one.
So it is just the third one.
I mean, Turner and Hooch hasn't
Turner and
made it on
Hooch.
yet.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's probably a couple others that he did that.
Is that in the
qualify.
rotation?
It's got to be
Somewhere in the algorithm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
DH9K probably
She'll
loves
figure it out.
Turner. Let Philadelphia Tom Hanks career.
Yep.
Oh, it's something a whole different level. There,
It was.
right, you know?
It was kind of big.
Yeah, it was big. But
Wait.
Just
studios
hold that one up. Yeah.
studios sank a lot of money into it. You could call his career almost a money pit,
Right.
right?
But he was making a splash.
There you go.
He was. Oh man, Ryan, you and I are going to be bosom buddies. So I could just
I'm going to be busy.
That counts.
I mean, I just love that thing you do.
Oh yeah, that is a fun thing, isn't it? Oh man. Somebody's going to have to be saving Mr. Ryan over here from all these hugs I'm about to come over there and give him for these Tom Hanks puns.
Save me.
I'm loving it, man.
You had to come save me. Save Private Ryan.
He kind of beat you to that.
I
That's
know,
all good.
I know.
I saw Forrest Gump once.
Hey, all right.
Nice job, everybody. All right, movie was written by Cormac and Marianne Wimberly.
Married couple.
Married couple.
Yeah.
They wrote a bunch of movies.
Yes.
I'm sure you're familiar with their work.
No.
There's a movie they wrote that no one likes except for me and Bob.
Oh, boy.
It bombed. And I can't wait to do it on the show because I think it's deserving of much more fanfare than it ever got.
What is it?
I Spy with Owen Wilson and Eddie Murphy.
Oh my god!
yeah,
I
yeah.
do like that movie.
Yes. It got destroyed. It's got
Yep.
terrible ratings. No one went and saw that movie. No one ever talks about that movie.
Fun.
We could
It's
talk about it.
great. I can't wait.
We could talk about it.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes.
These guys wrote I Spy. They wrote Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. They wrote Bad Boys 2.
Well,
Same people.
they kind of wrote Bad Boys 2.
And
Kind of.
another movie we're coming up on here shortly,
Oh, boy.
National Treasure.
Oh,
So
they were
okay.
script doctors on
Yeah.
that too, huh?
that's what I'm saying. So
The Cormac and Miriam Weberly month?
I suppose, because I usually do this at the end, but next week we're doing National Treasure, and that is literally 2 weeks in a row of the same screenwriters, and that wasn't done on purpose. So
TH9K.
kind of thing that
Right.
happens. She's messing
weird.
with us, I think. This movie, 6 Day, starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tony Goldwyn, Michael Rappaport, and Michael Rooker. Two of my favorite Michaels that are character actors.
Yes.
Love these guys.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Also, Mr. Robert Duvall.
Oh, how can I forget Robert
could you
Duvall?
forget?
Like the biggest movie star in this movie, and that's a movie that's got Arnold in it.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall is an all-time Hollywood royalty.
Yes.
Yep.
He putters around in a lab coat for 3 scenes, and they send him home with a fat paycheck.
Yep.
Like, okay, we'll get into that. When we talk about it,
semi-aggressive,
You know,
but it's like,
we'll get to it.
did we need
right?
Robert Duvall for this movie?
Yes and no.
Okay, fine. Movie had a budget of $82 million. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
box office was only $96 million. That's
That
not
is not
going to
enough.
get it
And that's,
done.
that's worldwide.
Worldwide.
That it was, yep.
All in.
All in.
Yeah.
Nope. No bueno.
Just
So-
blew its load on Arnold Schwarzenegger and 2 helicopters.
Yeah, so to take a brief, I'm guessing of that $82 million, a third is probably Arnie's.
Probably.
Actually, his salary was $25 million for this.
So yeah, a third.
So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yep.
This was the beginning of the end for Arnold, and I don't have any joy in my heart when I say that, but he had taken a break after True Lies and Jingle All the Way, a 3-year break. He had open heart surgery, came back and did End of Days in 99
which
to moderate success.
wow,
okay?
I love that movie.
But this was his
you?
first big tentpole, blockbuster, big budget release after that.
yeah.
And that's why, we'll do an $82 million budget. It's got Arnie, and we'll make our money back. This was the first nail in the coffin here.
Yep.
And then after this, Collateral Damage, and that didn't do any better either. And then one more shot at Terminator 3 before he took 10 years off to be a governor.
Yep.
So this is kind of 6 Day Collateral Damage into T3 was kind of the end of the road of the blockbuster career for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. But now we got his old man Arnie career.
I like the old man Arnie
Yeah.
for that
Old-
post-governor
Yep.
Yes.
comeback.
Oh, you know it.
Yes.
Never did giant numbers again.
No.
No.
right? But he has aged well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like he came back with a bang doing The Last Stand.
Love the
But The Last Stand was the start of the new stand for him.
Right. But as far as the first act, well, that's about the second act of his career. If the first was winning Mr. Olympias, second act was his blockbuster movie career.
Right.
This was kind of the end of that until the third act.
Exactly.
That's still going on, thankfully.
Yeah.
So it was the end of days for him.
It was. I suppose it was.
Kurt's going to eat well tonight.
He gets paid per pun.
yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Air America, this movie is a 5.9 on IMDb. The two most recent ones that we did that were 5.9s, we've done a ton of 5.9s. The one with Jet Li was a 5.9, and Runaway with Tom Selleck, also a 5.9. Everything about this movie score-wise is like middling. Critic score of 40%. Audience score is the lowest thing yet. It's 33% audience
Wow.
score.
That's surprisingly low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So it's more than qualifies. In fact, I think it checks every single box. It only has to check one, but in this case, it checks them all.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is how we end up with The Sixth Day, our 8th Arnold movie, that we've done on this podcast.
The 8th Arnold.
Eighth one. Now there's so many of them because some of that was from before DH9K was picking our movies and we were picking our own, and so we probably did half of those when we could decide what to do.
Yeah. Right. Voluntarily.
Yeah.
And then she's picked a bunch since then. But there's been a weird. She goes on runs. It's kind of weird how this happens. And for a while there was a Jean-Claude Van Damme run, and we haven't done a JCVD movie in forever.
Yes.
After doing a bunch of them. So now we're doing a bunch of Chuck Norris movies. That's been the thing lately.
Well, that's perfect for Joe and Bob.
Yeah, you guys are very thrilled about that. But
I am.
we appreciate everybody that's listening. Thank you for tuning in to Bad Movies Rule. The listeners here on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're downloading our audio show, you're the lifeblood that keeps the show going. So thank you to everybody that's out there listening, even to our YouTube viewers. Hey, we see you guys out there as well. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We are going to get started here with our scene-by-scene analysis. But first, I just want to let you know there's just a huge amount of extra content that you, if you've been listening for a long time, have probably heard us talk about our Patreon.
Yeah.
You can have access today to whole other shows that we do only on Patreon.
Plethora.
Yeah, Good Movies Rule, our post shows we keep recording at the end of all of our shows. You have all that. Horror Reel, Cartoon Clubhouse. We've got a video game show that we do on there, all kinds of stuff. You can have access today. Just have to go to patreon.com/Bad Movies Rule. It's all in the show notes. Go look in the show notes for this episode and you'll have the link there. And for as little as $3 a month, man, you just get tons of stuff and it really helps the show. So we appreciate everybody that's already a patron. Thank you to Jack Dean, obviously, Johnny Golab, Andrew Sparks, Mr. Hemacast himself. Some of these guys have screen names, so I'm not really sure what their actual names are.
Yes.
Our big patrons out there. And I know I'm forgetting some because I'm doing this off the top of my head, so apologies to the Jason. I almost forgot Jason Smith also. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you and Graham and everybody that's out there. Aaron Nowak, Jeff Ninja, Donnie Miles, Tim Hostler. Gosh, the one person I leave off is going to be so pissed off.
And just sitting there going, please name me,
should not have done this.
Please name
Mark
me.
Gusick, the Goose, Dave, don't call him Paul Parkinson.
Oh my gosh.
All these guys.
Yeah.
Just, you guys are awesome. Thank you. And please, if I missed you, DM me and I'll self-flagellate or whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, let's step aside for a minute so we can pay some bills.
Good one. I like that one.
Thank you.
I got up during the commercial break.
Yeah.
Ran some laps around the studio. It was nice.
I'm glad you seem more awake.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There was a blanket I just got done crocheting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's beautiful.
There's a lot. I mean, there's maybe too much time in between those commercials.
If you want to come see it, come to the Forge and you can see Joe's work. It'll be hanging up in the front.
You can even buy it
Now
for,
you have to.
Yeah.
for a small fee of $500.
When it's done,
70%
I'll
of
put it
those,
up.
Joe.
When it's done, I'll put it up.
Perfect. Well, guys, let's jump into this. We have the sixth day here in front of us, named after, of course, the part in Genesis in the Bible that says, "And on the sixth day, God created man." And there's this whole opening montage to the movie that starts with that Bible verse.
What's that story?
On the sixth day, God created mankind.
Oh, I don't think I heard that one.
You've never heard that one? It's in this really famous book, actually, the most famous book.
Called the Bible?
It's called the Bible. Best-selling
just
book
saying?
every single year.
Best-selling book?
Every single year.
You're saying it's better selling than Twilight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But almost as melodramatic. Yeah. So
No sparkly that.
we have mapped the human genome. This is the opening thing, and it goes through all the headlines and newspapers of all these scientific achievements that they thought we'd have
in just classic early 2000s montage-esque style.
Can't really see.
Where it's like kind of music video-y, but
way too much energy for very non-energetic.
And now we cloned a sheep. And then we did a human, but no, you can't do that. So we outlawed that in the sixth day law.
Because of that one thing that went bad.
The human
The big thing that happened.
We'll never speak to.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it happened, though.
It did.
Right.
So there's a law against it now. Yeah.
Yes, I think I think if that were true, I would want a law against it. I don't think I'd want people cloning people personally.
No,
it's
not
weird.
Really.
Because then, how do I know if I'm originally myself? You would never know, right? I mean, the eyelid thing in the movie, but I'm talking about in real life. Like,
yeah,
it would
you
just call so much into question.
Well, I mean, clearly there's a whole movie about it.
Yes, right. So,
I feel like I could be a clone. I mean, the other night I was drinking and I blacked out and woke up, didn't know where I was.
So
They could have cloned me.
You could be Joe 0.5. You'd be on your 5th iteration for all you know.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
The real you died in middle school. Okay. Right? And you've just been this soulless husk carrying through your life.
Could be.
It's not even your family.
Would explain a lot.
Could be. When you go home tonight, pull down the eyelids of every member of your family while they're sleeping.
Just
And when
to
they
make
wake
That's
up
from the movie.
And when they wake up and stare in your face with fear in their eyes, you go, shh, go back to bed.
Shh.
Yeah.
I'm doing something.
Yes.
Just to make sure you don't have any whiteheads.
That's right.
Yes.
What if it was just a whitehead?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Oh my God. I'm a
like
clone.
Talia looks legit. When Adam pulls us down, I'm like, man, he just needs some
He
antibiotics.
could have
Yeah.
a whitehead.
That's-
for sure. We don't know. All right. Within the first 30 seconds, something made me laugh. When the XFL
Dude,
is the best.
In this movie, when the XFL is successful.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
It is the football league.
Yeah.
I love the heads-up display they had.
The heads up, yeah. So the football helmets, just so you guys know what Joe's talking about, the football helmets on the face masks, you have a HUD like in a video game that shows like the down and distance, and possible blitz incoming, and this is the Mike linebacker, all that stuff.
Yep, I love.
You like that?
Well, I thought it was funny because it's like pointing out like blitz is incoming.
Yeah,
right.
Like after he snaps his neck, I want to hear him. Like another like which call goes up. You have neck trauma.
Like OnStar, you have suffered in an accident.
Yeah.
Please wait for the paramedics to come out and get you. I think it'd be
Dude, there's OnStar in the movie too.
I know.
There is.
They also thought OnStar was.
I thought OnStar was going to be successful.
The heads up display. If I was a quarterback and the freaking guys are going to like blitz taking up my entire field of view, I'd be like, I can't see the freaking linebackers that are coming at me or the open receiver because it's going, you are under a blitz. Like, meh, 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 meh.
Yeah.
I mean,
horrible.
Clearly, it didn't work for Johnny Phoenix or Johnny Blaze, whatever the hell his name is. Johnny Phoenix.
Johnny No Neck.
Johnny No.
I don't want my helmet to have freaking pop-up ads while I'm trying to play quarterback.
My gosh.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It gets
Because,
hacked.
like you're dropping back, it's 4th down, game's on the line, and someone is like, "Do you accept all cookies?" Like on your freaking helmets. Like, ridiculous, dude. If someone didn't update it,
A system update.
system update, right?
It just sits there and starts spinning.
It just starts spinning.
38% complete, and you're like, damn it, the game's over.
And if it's augmented reality and you can't actually see out of it unless it's on, then you're screwed.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Then it goes off. That's the worst thing ever.
I will say, though, this has got to be one of the OG heads-up displays, though, in movies, because, like, I don't feel it was ever a thought until after Iron Man, and then you look back and you're like, oh, wait, that was in, like, that's been around for a while.
I love these old movies where they try to do a little peek into the future, and then looking back at them, see what they kind of gotten right, and what they haven't. Not much in this movie did they get right. Not much.
Not a whole lot.
Some automated, some self-driving cars, OnStar. I think the most accurate ones when the milk ran out.
The interactive refrigerator?
Yeah.
Because now you could buy the Samsung with the little thing that you hit the thing.
True.
I thought that was pretty close.
That's a real thing.
They got like flat screen TVs, right?
Yep.
And interactive refrigerators.
They really were betting big on Vince McMahon though in the XFL because this movie came out in 2000.
Yeah.
The XFL had announced it, but it hadn't even started till 2001.
Yeah.
And it only lasted one season.
Yeah.
So it was like a preemptive.
Right.
Oh well, if Vince is doing this, it's gonna obviously be a huge thing, and then it just bombed out.
Oh, I know.
This movie is very, very in its time. Like
Yeah.
the XFL, and you have the extreme, like sports thing,
Right.
and like and I just remember the scene in Harold and Kumar where they're in the mini mart and they're like extreme,
yeah,
everything
the
was like
snowboarders and
extreme.
stuff, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, dude,
So it's just
for sure. Late 90s, early aughts.
Yep.
they didn't know what was coming.
No.
Yeah.
Johnny Phoenix shatters his neck on the field, gets carried off and into an ambulance where Michael Rooker meets him in the ambulance. And like this guy is his neck is obliterated.
Yeah, they literally have X-rays. I mean, they haven't got to the ambulance yet, but they have full printout X-rays. Like,
sir, his neck is gone. Yeah. No, it's that pile of dust at the bottom of the X-ray.
What is his character's name?
That's his vertebrae there. What's that?
What's his character's name?
Johnny Phoenix.
No, Michael Rooker's character's name.
I've just called him Rooker the whole time.
Like Marshall or something, right? Because he's like
referred to him as Mary Poppins.
Dude, anything works. We'll just keep going with it.
Yeah, but Rooker is just like they show him the shattered vertebrae. He's like, no, he's gonna walk it off.
He's gonna be fine. Yeah. And then the paramedics try to get in the ambulance, and he's just like, nope, shuts the door on him. Like, yeah, I know. We'll just leave the paramedics here.
Who is this guy?
I mean, clearly he's someone.
The cops listen to him. The paramedics listen to him.
He's wearing a suit and a tie.
Right.
He's got that intimidating voice.
Okay.
You know, he's like, yeah, no room for you.
But then we cut to the man.
And then I do like when Michael Rooker calls whoever on the phone, the mysterious man.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, Johnny, looks like you're going to have to take one for the team.
Yep.
And cuts his oxygen off.
Boop, boop,
Yep.
boop, 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 boop. Flatline.
Yep.
He's dead. Mm-hmm. But in a movie about cloning, you got to assume
right.
Why?
What was this foreshadowing?
Yeah.
Oh, they
I don't know.
A whole bunch of very obvious foreshadowing stuff in this movie.
Right. You know, his name is Phoenix.
Exactly. There was
Nice.
tons of it.
That's
Kind of
I'm a
on
moron.
the nose.
Wow.
A little bit on the nose.
Yeah.
You know what? This movie just went up a point in my book.
We cut to the man himself, Arnie, looking in the mirror for new wrinkles because it is his birthday. He's getting a little bit older.
And he wants to really inspect his face because that's
weird.
not going to play
I don't feel
into anything in the future.
I don't feel very much older.
Yeah.
Are you going to just look at new wrinkles or are you going to come back here and sex me in this bed right now? This wife.
I like the flex, and he's
he's look at them still like this, and let's look at the fantastic body, right? But what's the actress's name?
Wendy Cresson. Wendy.
Loved her in Air Force One.
Wendy Cresson.
She was in Air Force One.
Yes.
She was Harrison Ford's wife.
Yeah.
In this, her whole character seemed to be there to throw herself at her husband.
Yeah.
And
cry
cigars with him and cry.
Yeah.
Okay, but like the first scene, she's
The
like,
cigar thing was weird.
yeah,
We'll get to that.
We'll get to it. But basically, come in here and do. He's like, okay, I'll do it right now, and he jumps into bed.
Lock the door.
Lock the door. He runs over and gets nut shotted by the doorknob. Right by his daughter coming in the room. Daughter cock blocks him, jumps on his back, and
literally.
Like, I guess this isn't.
Surprised that
She's
doorknob.
like, oh, were you about to use that?
Yeah. You'd think that doorknob would have shattered.
What? It's either I was like, it's either that doorknob is really low or he's really tall, or how does doorknobs are generally.
Maybe it wasn't the doorknob who hit him. Maybe it was him who hit the door.
Got it.
You're tracking?
I'm tracking. I got you.
Okay.
It was sticking out.
Yep.
So
I mean,
so it was
I thought of it was
like the door,
that.
like the door brushed,
no.
across the.
Oh, it's sideswipe.
It like sideswiped.
Sideswipe.
It sideswiped
I thought it was like head
just
on,
that-
like
Can we break this down? I need a John Madden's yellow marker. Right now.
yeah.
First of all, we got to be like,
Well, you see, he's coming in here.
what's the distance? What's the distance we're talking here for Arnie?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I feel like a trigonometry major can figure this
right?
out. We could end up with the information we're really looking for.
There's just some crucial pieces.
And if it was hit from the side, I thought it was going to make one of those door stopper noises. Either way, it was painful.
That's right. This whole scene is just to establish how he
whole
feels
scene is
about
painful.
things, right? So he goes and has breakfast with his daughter, who eats nacho flavored bananas, and they're talking about, oh, Dad,
Why was that?
because they can genetically engineer things now.
Oh,
right? They could be like,
you're right.
the whole point is that Arnie's like, I just want the regular banana. He doesn't want to do the pet is creepy if it's
Yep.
He's like regular old school guy. He's like, what's wrong with a real friend? They do all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like just like because she wants a sim pal, because all her friends have sim pals and they do all these things and they'll be your friend. It's just to show Arnie's old school in his thinking. That's kind of the whole purpose of this.
just
Just
an old
laying the
school
groundwork
guy.
here.
Right. Adam's job is he's a charter pilot for snowboard enthusiasts.
Yeah.
And they make a ton of money doing this.
A
Apparently.
ton.
A lot.
I mean,
He's got a nice house. I was
gonna say.
They got some nice helicopter planes, helicopter planes. drones.
helicopter plane.
Planes.
You know what they are called in the movie?
What?
Whispercraft.
Oh, that's right. They
Yes.
are called that.
Yep.
His whispercraft.
Whispercraft.
He was not in his whispercraft.
Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
On the whisper?
I'm sorry. Stupid, sorry.
His partner in this business is Hank, played by Michael Rappaport, who I always appreciate whenever he shows up in a movie. I'm usually like, oh, thank God Michael Rappaport is in this.
I like him, but
I like him.
This one, I don't know.
He's barely in it.
He's barely.
Yeah,
He doesn't get to do a lot of Michael Rappaport-y stuff.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He was not doing what I thought he should do.
No, yeah, he's not being typecast in this. He's just a guy.
Michael
Playing
is
a friend role.
Michael is great doing the character that doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And gets a chance to rant about how he doesn't know what's going on. And do you know what I mean? He didn't really get a chance to do that.
Yeah. No, he just had like the, holographic girlfriend, which I guess was kind of Michael Rappaport-y, but
I guess.
Yeah.
They walk into this chart. Well, it's like a hangar at this airport. And Hank, Michael Rappaport's character, introduces Adam to Trip. Cool snowboard guy that doesn't realize it's not the 90s anymore.
Yeah, with a purple bandana.
Yeah,
right. Like,
Dollar store Dan Cortez.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Give me the round of applause on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I call him the entire time.
Any day is a good day if Dan Cortez gets referenced.
It's only our second episode ever referencing Dan Cortez.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember the other one?
No, I don't remember.
He was in a movie. That's right. That's it.
Yeah, because he's
the
the
Jolly
player.
Green Giant. That guy.
He was.
That's him. He's in that one part. It's randomly Dan Cortez. I just always wanted Sly in the movie to be like, that's goddamn Dan Cortez. But it never happened, unfortunately. But Trip is there to do some cool snowboarding. This is when the wife calls to say, Oliver, the vet had to put Oliver down because Oliver's not doing well, and so I need you to go to Repet and pick up, new Oliver 2.0. He's not doing it. It's creepy, right? And he just absolutely says, "This is a perfect picture of marriage. Will you do it for me?" No. Okay, thanks, honey.
Thanks, honey. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
And then cuts off the phone. And then hangs up the phone.
That's right.
There you go.
I was like, that's the most realistic thing so far.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just kidding. Obviously, sweetheart, love you. But this happens a lot. And I love how, he's like, just, she'll understand. We'll get another cat or something. And she's like, no, she's 8 years old. She's a moron. She can't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Life and death. Like,
Children aren't resilient at all.
She's not 2.
This is going to be childhood trauma that's going to affect her for the entire life.
Everyone has lived through a pet that's passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
By 8?
By 8?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I lived through people that have passed away by 8.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You
When
know.
I was 5, my Great Dane lady went to live on a farm up north.
Yeah.
That's what they told me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I even knew then what the hell they were talking about.
I had a lot of hamsters, and they don't live long.
No.
Not at all.
Oh, we don't want to go down the hamster rabbit hole here. But
How many hamsters did you have?
It's like 8.
do you know what I'm
There
talking about?
was-
I know that. Just please.
Yeah. No. We're
Yeah.
Don't. No.
Yeah,
The
no.
hamster.
Don't.
No.
Don't.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I-
Sorry, I had
thank
to say
you. Just I got to throw one factoid out about
Please.
dead hamsters.
Oh boy.
That's so specific. I literally can't wait.
So hamsters will do a form of hibernation.
Oh God.
So people were realizing that if they had left their hamsters alone for a couple days or whatever, or the weather got colder, they would go into a type of hibernation which would appear to be dead. So people were burying live hamsters,
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
flushing live hamsters down,
Wow.
all because they didn't realize that hamsters will sometimes do a
Well, you would
hibernation
think
type
the
thing.
second hamster hits toilet water, they'd be like, I'm awake.
Nope.
What if they live cohabitated though with other hamsters?
I don't know.
See,
All I
always
can
had
say is
to.
there was a lot of people who said, yeah, all of a sudden one day my hamster wasn't moving.
yeah.
And then many, many years later when the internet came out and we realized that hamsters do actually hibernate.
They go dig up Sparky and they see the claw marks on the backside of the box.
just written like, damn you, like written under the
I mean,
right.
I woke
cardboard
up.
box.
I woke up one morning and one of my hamsters had eaten the head off the other one. So yeah, that one.
Oh,
Was,
what
that
a
one was dead.
beautiful special story.
Bert and Ernie.
Which one was it?
I don't know.
I want to know. Didn't know you couldn't tell which one's Bert, which one's Ernie.
I don't know. I have no idea, but I know Bert killed Ernie, or maybe Ernie killed Bert.
I have a feeling that if one was going to kill the other, it would be Bert killing Ernie.
Bert killed Ernie.
Yeah.
We can all agree that's exactly what happened.
But yeah,
Bert's got that look in his eye.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They fly to drop the snowboarders off on Snowboard Mountain, and then they.
I love how when they're at the hangar, it's like Vancouver cityscape, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like cut to middle of the freaking mountains.
Yeah, like they're in the Himalayas or something.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. I don't know how close Vancouver is. I'm assuming not that close.
I don't know. I mean,
Close enough, I guess.
Yeah. They drop off these guys and they take a joyride to test the new remote that he has to fly one of these whisper crafts remotely.
Yes.
Which will come into play later.
Oh, of course. But it looks like a horrible setup. The screen is like on your forearm.
Yeah.
So you'd have to like drive it like this, but you're also, do you know what I'm saying? You still got to steer it left and right.
But it's like you're also steering it with your arm.
Right. But
like
also,
if you're upside down, you can.
James, how are you supposed to hold it?
you're supposed to hold it like this.
Like that, and then you
have to look at the freaking
and then you work the
heads up
joystick?
display. And then it goes all different ways. But I'm saying, like, if you've got to turn left or right and it's facing the other way, it doesn't make any sense.
You get carpet.
It just seems like a stupid thing.
know, yeah. Really put a strain on your wrist.
You'd have to. You don't have to fly it backwards. I
Just like
feel
the
like
constant.
Yeah,
It's just not.
you guys are like 4-year-olds, honestly, or 12.
I'm just
I guess
talking
12-year-olds.
about no, Mike, because
To be fair,
Yeah.
I saw this movie when I was 12.
You just did it just right there.
Yeah.
Okay. They meet Drucker's guy back at the hangar. Drucker is this very famous person. We don't know a lot about him yet at this point in the movie, but anybody that's going to do any work for him has to sign an NDA because they might overhear important calls, and they've got to do a blood test.
Yep.
To make sure they're not, as they say, under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and so they blood test them and vision test them.
Yes.
In air quotes that I'm doing, if you can't see.
Quote unquote.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but ultimately, at the end, it's like Hank switches places with Adam and says, "Hey, I could take Drucker and these guys up, to go snowboarding or whatever. Why don't you go to Repet and go deal with this thing with Oliver? They don't know which one of us is Adam." And he's like, "All right, fine." So they do that, and it's important because the whole movie hinges
Very important.
Because there's a line of dialogue where he literally says they specifically requested Adam Gibson as the pilot.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, for all I know, I'm Adam Gibson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They fly. It's a very short cut. Hank flies them to the mountain. At that point, Tripp, who they dropped off previously, is there.
Yep.
And
Dan Cortez
shoots and kills everybody, including Hank.
Then you also get, this is like the first cut to like FPV moment.
It's like a weird, glitchy video.
Yes.
But we see everybody get shot.
Yes.
And
exactly.
Then the next thing, apparently, Adam must have fell asleep on his way to Repet, guys.
Oh my gosh!
He wakes up in this van, and he was sleeping.
Happened to be more than twice.
The Johnny Cab.
The Johnny Cab, right?
Yeah.
You're in a Johnny Cab.
Yeah, right.
This is Repet. And he gets out. He's like, "Oh, that's weird. I was tired, I guess," and goes into the Repet to talk to this guy who's very friendly, the salesperson, right? Still can't make up your mind.
Yeah.
You had a dog, right? And it's like, that's amazing that you know this.
Incredible salesman.
The job from the salesman in the movie, anyway, is to drop a bunch of expo. Like, no, it's safe. Humans, it's illegal because it's too dangerous. But Oliver would never even know he was a clone.
Because of the mind thing.
Right? Yeah. All that stuff.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Arnie catches a glimpse of Simpal Cindy display across the way. And he goes, "I might be back." Close. Not quite.
But I had...
You'll be back.
I had walked out of the room for just a minute to grab myself a drink, and I heard that over the TV, and I went, "He said the thing."
Kind of.
He almost said the thing.
Kind of. They were winking at it.
Always has to.
As Deadpool said, they were gently tapping the fourth wall.
Yep.
Right? Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he goes over to Simpal Cindy. Now, I got some thoughts about Simpal.
Gosh.
I think we all do.
Freaking nightmare fuel.
It's creepy as frick, dude.
There's no way a child would ever want that. I don't want that. I don't.
Nope.
As a father, you'd go in there and be like, "We're not getting this."
This is disgusting.
Let's talk about how this movie is very similar to Total Recall.
Okay,
First, you have everybody around Arnold explaining to Arnold how things work that he should know.
Yeah.
Second, the Johnny Cab.
Yeah.
Third,
Yep.
you have Quato.
Yeah. Oh, you think Simpal Cindy looks like Quato?
Yeah, she looks exactly like Quato.
I think I think she's scarier looking than Quato.
Yeah.
With the
Why on
hair.
earth would they put so much distance between her eyeballs?
Oh my gosh.
There was at least 4 fingers worth of distance between her eyeballs.
That had to have been intentional.
To have been.
I would say this is early like animatronics type things where they haven't quite mastered like the Chucky doll look.
Oh, she's worse. She's worse than
She
Chucky.
was scarier than Chucky.
She was
Yes.
100%
Yes.
scarier than Chucky.
I would watch that movie.
If they, that movie
Dude.
just came out last couple of
Right?
years called Megan.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Megan should have looked like that.
Yes.
That would have been ridiculously.
I have a boo boo.
Oh, she won't shut up, right?
Dude, it won't. Wouldn't shut up. Just like nudging herself into Arnold.
He's trying to FaceTime his wife, and she's like, "Do you want to be my friend?" Shut up, doll. I'm talking to my wife. And then it's
Just ask the cab driver.
and then they asked the cab driver.
Hey, do you know how to turn this off?
And he knew exactly how to turn her off.
He did.
Just say, "Go to
found that
sleep,
creepy.
Cindy."
It is kind of funny. Like he's like, oh yeah, my niece has one. You just say go to sleep, Cindy.
But even that is scary because she doesn't just say "okay" and boop, shut down. She goes, "After you want to be my friend." I'm like, did they have to do
Oh
it
my
that
gosh.
way? Boo.
This has to be made into a clip, James, and we have to showcase how horrifying this child thing, this child robot is.
Adam, this is when the plot kicks into overdrive here. Adam gets home, and Oliver the dog is already there.
Right after he gets out of this cab from the 50s.
Yeah, that was weird. Just those old yellow cabs.
Because the car he's about to take off in a minute is like an old school car too. At least
it's
it
an
looked
old
like
caddy.
one, right?
Yeah.
It's an old caddy.
It's funny because there's like the advanced cab that he gets out of when he's first, coming to.
Asleep.
Yes, he's sleeping in this whatever cab.
Somebody's
And
up
now
on
he's
the
like a
roof.
Nothing else
1950s.
happening there.
No.
Yep. And then
Foreshadowing.
he comes in. Dog is there. He's like, that's weird. And then he walks up onto his porch because he can hear Happy Birthday being sung.
Yeah, he's like, this is also weird.
He looks in the window. Nobody looked. If anybody had looked in the window and here's Arnold's running, right
holding the Cindy
Holding
doll
the Cindy
too.
doll.
Right.
And her just blank look on her face.
Nobody looks. It's Arnie. Adam is already in there. He sees his own damn self in the room getting
At his
birthday
birthday
cakes,
party.
blowing the candles out on the birthday cake.
Yep.
There's a frickin' Simpal Cindy already in the chair.
Yep.
What kind of
Just
bull?
When this,
looking totally cracked out. Just,
I love how the line, and like we've all seen Jingle All the Way, but when I was watching this last night and he's looking in there, I just want to be like, he's in my house, blowing out my candles,
Yeah.
on my cake,
On my tree.
with my wife.
He almost says it because
And he almost does.
he does.
think about how weird this is. You have this weird experience where your dog is there and then you see yourself in the house.
Yeah.
And then to make it even weirder, Terry Crews shows up to come and get you.
And then Terry Crews and some chick with red hair shows up.
Shows up and they're like, hey, you got to not be here. They try to, he goes, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going inside. He's in my house eating my birthday cake. Right?
Yes.
It's almost the Jingle All the Way line.
It is. It is.
It's like, put the cookie down almost territory there, right? I think that's if he had kicked the door in, if he'd pulled the Terminator on the front door, boom,
He would have. Yep.
Yeah.
put the cake down.
Yep.
Right? That's what would have happened. But instead they try to knock him out. They're dragging him away. And he grabs their stun gun and stuns her with it.
Yep.
Right? And then Simpal Cindy takes one for the team
Yes, she does.
so that he can
She
get
takes
away.
a lot for the team.
He jumps in the old caddy and takes off. But before he can get away, Talia jumps in the girl that's with Terry Crews,
Yeah.
jumps in the passenger side
Yeah.
window.
Talia.
And it's-
Redheaded chick.
In this iteration of her,
That's what I mean.
I just called her bad haircut chick.
But she
Haircut.
she hated her actual hair, which we find out
Right.
in
She's a
a
natural
little
blonde.
bit. But yeah, so as they take off, Cindy is, still won't shut up in the backseat of the bad guy's car now. She's trying to talk to Terry Crews, and Terry Crews isn't having it.
She's asking everybody to be their friend.
Yeah. But now we're also introduced to Wiley.
Who I thought was Johnny Phoenix at first, because they kind of are
They're similar looking. Yeah. I mean, he's like, and this is like Norman Reedus meets Matt Schultz from Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
Very much.
I thought it was Steven Dorff the entire movie.
No, Norman Reedus as in Blade.
That's also
Norman.
accurate.
Yes. Like Blade Norman Reedus.
Blade
exactly.
Norman Reedus, yeah.
The baddies have their little squad of, the big baddie is Drucker, who we'll get to, but the main guys that go out and do the dirty work are Michael Rooker's character, Talia, Wiley, and Terry Crews, but Terry Crews is mostly not with them. He's out of the four, he's around the least.
Yeah, which is really weird.
Yeah, only had him for a few days.
First movie. So.
Was it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was his first movie. Yeah, it was Terry Crews'. It was his feature film debut.
He got cut out of Salvation.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got cut out of Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, he did.
So basically, this is the XFL didn't work and the NFL didn't work. So now he's
he's
because didn't he tried to play for the NFL, didn't he?
Probably.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He played for the Chargers.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah.
He played for the San Diego Chargers.
This is after.
No, yeah, he had an NFL career, a short-lived one, but yeah, he was in there. Cindy is, like I said, he's not showing up. Wiley, what ends up happening is it's a decent car chase, I thought, and they're chasing Arnie, who's now subdued Talia and has her at gunpoint. He's like, why are you trying to kill me, right? And she's like, because you saw him. You saw yourself, and if your family sees the two of you together, we got to kill them too.
I'm just gonna tell you everything right now in the middle of this, just because you asked.
Arnie slams on the brakes, and the right into the front of the car is chasing them, and Wiley gets launched over Arnold's car.
Yes,
hits the pavement, and then Arnie runs him over with a gleeful giggle.
Yes, this should be a wholesome man.
Yes,
that is a commercial pilot.
Yeah.
For some snowboarding company.
And he's been attacked, and he still doesn't know what's happening.
He's barely been attacked. Yeah. And he is having fun murdering people.
Yep. He goes, like that. He's got a big-ass grin on his face.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
When he runs this guy over.
I mean, the characterization might not be 100%, but, And
then Talia gets shot through the neck.
Well, she gets shot by Wiley.
Wiley's
got the blaster rifle.
Right.
Yeah.
And then shoots her through the neck.
They have phaser guns.
Yes, I know.
Those are cool.
They're very cool. This movie really assumed we were going to be way more ahead of the game than we ended up being on things.
Yep.
Little like cliche or movie trope, especially with Arnold.
Yeah.
He is pitted or he is described as a mild-mannered man, all of these things.
Yes.
But he has wonderful fighting skills and
always
his tacticalness, his ability to infiltrate everything is top notch.
Yeah.
Well,
so
for the average Joe,
they should have done a better job setting this up.
Yeah.
Very late in the movie, like almost at the end, when he's talking to Drucker, he says, "We even got your old war wound on your side."
There's two references.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
that's the only one I caught. If there was a second one, I didn't catch it.
It's when they're making the explosive stuff, him and the clone, and he's like, you're using too much aluminum.
Right.
And he says, it's the same thing I used in the Jungle War or whatever.
Oh, so see, and that's even late in the movie.
It is late.
But there's not even, and there's not even like, he's just like, back in the Rainforest War or whatever. Like, it's literally something.
Yeah.
It's
barely a reference to it.
Yeah.
So they should have early on been like former military, soldier, war veteran.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes. Because at this point I was having the same thought, like, how the hell is he so effective at dispatching bad guys and all that stuff?
I mean, he clearly was a commando at some point.
Should have told us.
There you go.
You should have told us earlier. Okay. I mean, come on. Anyway, I did think it was kind of idiotic when he's like, I know how I'll get away. I'll floor it through this garage and drive straight through somebody's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ferris
Completely
Bueller
okay.
movie.
Yeah.
This poor bastard. He's sitting here just eating popcorn. Like, what the hell?
Trying to watch Birds of Prey or whatever. Hey, kudos to him on the reflexes to get the hell out of the way. You're not expecting a car through the wall.
Especially that late in the night.
No. Eventually, Arnie drives his car straight off a damn cliff. Epic crash. I mean, that thing fell, and I'm going, is it gonna
straight off a damn dam?
Yeah,
Damn.
right.
Yeah.
Boom on its ceiling. It lands in
Oh,
the
a dam
river.
cliff
Yes,
or a dam cliff?
off of a damn cliff.
I don't think that's how you go. It's just a
Cliff
canyon that has a dam in it.
Yeah.
Sure. Either way,
Thelma
it's a
Louise
really,
just off
really
the
high
edge.
up. It's
It was really high.
yeah. You think he's dead, but he had jumped out at some point and grabbed onto a fence
Yep.
that is now hanging down the cliff because it was crashed through.
Yep.
Michael Rooker tries to take a couple pot shots at him.
Terry Crews, grab my belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lead me over the side.
I would trust Terry Crews to lead me over this.
I would too.
yeah.
I would literally have him dangle me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where Arnold says, "It's the one-armed man."
Oh, Terry Crews.
What do you mean you want him to dangle you?
Dangling.
Like if Terry Crews had some baby oil.
No. Baby oil is forever. You can thank P. Diddy for that. We can't talk about baby oil.
Not anymore.
That just killed it.
Ruined.
All right.
It's on the list.
All right, we'll use Vaseline next time.
Okay, fair enough. All right, time to go to replacement technologies and learn about these guys over there because this is the first time we see Duvall giving a press conference
Yes.
to talk about it. He's the guy that knows how to do the cloning stuff.
He's the doctor.
He's the doctor.
Dr. Weir.
The figure it out. Yeah,
Yes.
he figured it out. Drucker saved some fish or something. This is our first time we see Drucker.
You mean Elon Musk?
Elon, or whoever
Yeah,
he's supposed to be
basically,
playing in
yeah.
this movie, right? They make reference to all the fish in the sea were gone.
Yes.
And he saved them.
He's
By
yeah.
cloning them.
So Michael Drucker is now trying to rescue
Gordon's
Robert
fisherman.
Duvall from this
Right.
press conference that they're doing, and he says, half the world was going to go hungry, and then we cloned the fish.
Right.
So do you want half the people to eat cloned fish, or you want half the people to die? It's
Right,
like
because
his-
the reporters
his
are throwing stuff at
Yeah.
Robert Duvall about
Yeah, yeah.
the efficacy of, or not the efficacy, but the ethics of cloning.
thing. right, the
Ethnicity.
ethical,
Yes, and ethnicity of cloning. Like, I don't want to
the
come back,
ethnicity,
right?
the
and be a
ethicality.
fish. I want to make sure I stay human.
and the efficacy. Even because
Yeah.
clearly, if they
Right.
fed half the world with fish,
All that stuff.
that's pretty efficient.
Kind of weird to have a press conference at a party, though. Thought that was odd.
Yeah,
They're like,
I don't
"Oh,
know.
thank you for coming," and they just turn right around and they're in a party. They're
Like a
the
Gotham
press is
City
just
party.
standing there.
It's like a Batman Forever
Find
party.
yourself in line at the bar.
That's- Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like being at the bar and the TV comes on and tells
Right.
you what's going on.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There we go.
Yeah, it was a little bit goofy. We are introduced to Catherine. There's a few vital things we meet at this party. We introduce to Catherine, who's Robert Duvall's wife, who has something wrong with her. We're not quite sure what yet.
Gosh.
She looks tired.
She does look tired. He's gonna
She
get her
dragged the
car to
whole
go
scene
home
down.
and stuff. You know.
Ugh. Yes.
She was a bummer.
She was.
She was.
Heartless bastard.
It's,
She was. So,
Why do I gotta sit here and watch this poor guy's dying wife? Get her a freaking hospital and get out of this
It was
movie.
drawn out. It was drawn out too far.
She's just like,
I'm dying. Joe's like blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
It wasn't. It was
two
just like,
aspirins.
Give
Tell
her-
her to go lay down. And
she's like, my fibromyalgia's acting up.
I know.
Like,
And she's so dramatic about everything.
Right.
It was too much.
It was too much for you.
It was too much. The whole yeah.
Yeah. No sympathy, huh?
Human sentimentality is
No.
At first, I had
Foreign.
sympathy, of course, but as her character draws out and slowly, meets her
every time she comes. Ah, this bitch again.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then
with
oh
her-
my God,
with her,
I don't want to lose my wife.
Okay,
Wow.
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 We also see Michael Drucker. Did you have something else? Sorry.
No, like this is part of Robert Duvall's random kind of character arc, though.
Yeah.
Because he's the only. Every time the movie the movie mostly focuses on Arnold, and then there's like a brief moment where it kind of focuses on Dr. Weir's
Yeah,
narrative.
yeah.
Right.
But never really.
Not for very long.
No.
This is how they set that up, though.
Yeah.
We also see Michael Drucker up meeting in his office with a senator or the Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House.
Yes. Yes.
About his son who has an inoperable brain tumor. And so you're seeing he's trying to grease the wheels of politicians to change the laws, which later on he says we're only a couple years away from, so that cloning will be more mainstream.
I will say.
Yeah.
So in the helicopter, back at the double charter thing,
Yeah.
when he's on the phone and you're like the NDA about, you might hear his phone calls.
Right.
The phone call he's like, make sure the speaker is there.
Yes.
So like he knows,
About the brain tumor.
because then he gives that speech at
About
the thing
brain
about like, say you got a kid with 10-year-old kid with liver
Oh,
cancer.
gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you got a 10-year-old kid with liver cancer. But now in the other bed, you got a 10-year-old kid with an inoperable brain tumor. We could save the kid with liver cancer, but not the kid with the inoperable brain tumor.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, subconsciously, Senator, House Speaker guy.
You have one of those.
You have one of those.
You got one of those little cancer kids.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I guess you better donate to St. Jude's.
Step into my office. Now, it's not highly ethical, but I could save your son.
Yeah.
I mean, you would spend like 40 years.
He literally, he's like, whatever, it's just like highly illegal, but,
Those stupid laws get in the way of saving your son.
Just say it doesn't get out,
Right,
and we save him. But if it does get out, you're going to be doing 40 years.
Do you know any lawmakers? Or asking for a friend?
Also, he also drops the nugget of, because he is a clone, then he's going to have no rights.
Right.
And then will be terminated.
Right.
Oh,
like
yeah.
And that
terminated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I did that on purpose. But that leads into Duvall there.
Yeah.
And why he is in his predicament.
Yes.
Right.
Further down the movie.
Exactly.
What I hate about this movie so far is they have set everything up, but they have set it up so clumsily,
Sure.
whatever.
Clumsily.
Yeah. Clumsily, is that a word?
Haphazardly.
Almost as clumsily.
Ham-fisted.
Yeah. Ham-fisted
Almost as
and
clumsily
haphazard.
as I'm trying to explain it now.
Yes.
But everything they set up is so obvious that they're setting something up.
Sure.
It's annoying.
I disagree.
Come on.
I don't think it was clumsy.
Staring in the beginning, staring intensely at his face.
Yeah, it's his birthday. He's old.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Like, I have a shaving mark right here. That is, gonna work.
No, but the wrinkle, I know people that literally will obsess over the same wrinkle in the same spot and how they wish it would go away. Oh, look, it's getting worse.
The make a pet, build a pet here.
Build a bear, yeah.
And
a little different.
That dump of information on how
well, we have to learn about the cloning somehow.
But they set up so much stuff.
It is.
The guy in the beginning, the Dan Cortez, they focus on him a lot in the beginning.
Trip.
And I was just like, that dude's gonna do something.
Right.
Like there was no mystery to it. There's that guy's gonna do something.
The amount of camera lingers that are on Trip in the office, where it's like, you can clearly see that's a bad guy.
The Trip camera linger, I'll give you that one for sure.
So I'm just saying, it feels like this movie
is awesome.
Did so much. I could have finished the movie.
It's awesome. You could have finished the movie. You could not tell me that from this moment you could have said what was going to happen.
Halfway through the movie.
You could not have said what was going to happen halfway through.
Bull crap.
All right. Well, actually,
I knew what was going to happen before it happened.
Here's the question, though.
Yeah.
When did you see this movie for the first time?
The theaters.
When did you see this? You guys, you saw it in the theaters. Okay. When did you see it for the first? You all saw it today. Today is the first time you saw this movie.
First time I've ever seen this movie.
With a critical eye bent towards it.
Right.
You know it's true.
That's true. I'm on a Bad Movies Rule podcast. Yes, I have a critical eye.
I know.
Maybe.
I think it's
Are you just mad that you didn't go with them in 2000?
No.
Let's get our virtual psychologist to pop up and ask you about your parents. Let's do it.
Speaking of which, you all caught the Blade Runner reference?
Yes.
There's a lot of Blade Runner. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So
weird.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he's got a Blade Runner shirt on. Thank you. Look at that, Ryan.
I just had
Tears.
The next scene is Arnie at the police station where he's trying to report what happened, but apparently Arnie had already gone to report the stolen vehicle, and so he's like, "So with the cops like, wait, so it is stolen?" Or he's like, "No, I stole it." And he's like, "So you stole your own car?" Virtual attorney pops up.
Yeah.
Are you accusing my client of a crime? You don't have to answer that question.
Yep.
And he's like, "No, he says his clone did it." Oh, hold on, I'll get the virtual psychologist.
Yeah.
And then the virtual psychologist in his little sweater vest pops up, right?
With a German accent.
with a.
All right, so they're a little on the nose with things sometimes.
Heavy-handed here.
A little heavy-handed.
Could not have been more of a.
to avoid talking about your parents.
Yes, exactly.
Shut up! Literally what he says to him.
So we live in this world where cloning is a thing.
Yeah.
We know it's a thing. And that bad thing happened in the past.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we know it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, of course you're crazy if this this happened.
Cloning. I mean,
in 2024 reality, if I was to say my clone did it, then I'm a psych patient.
Exactly.
But in this world, it shouldn't be seen as no. If anything, an investigator would be like, "There's illegal cloning going on. Tell me more."
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
We have laws against this.
Right.
Yes.
He gets flagged as a psych patient because Rooker put it in the system to do so, and then they put him into like a locked waiting room.
Cut back to
hold him.
Cut back to Michael Rooker in computer room doing just put that in there.
While he's locked in there, Wiley and Talia are getting cloned because they were both killed in the car chase.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is our first glimpse.
This is our first glimpse at that.
Yep.
Even back when he was meeting with the senator, they're having this meeting, and there's meat sacks literally like around them, invisible, and it's disgusting. And the whole thing, even I'm like, why wouldn't you go with walls instead of windows everywhere if this is what they look like?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anybody to, well, Senator, this is highly illegal, and you're trying to convince this person. And like, meanwhile, there's these half alive meat sacks.
Like the senator's looking at the tanks of
the guy from Powder looking, clone bags up here. Why is he looking at that?
Judge Dredd clones.
That's right. Honestly,
what did they just call them, like slates or something in the movie?
Like that. Anyway, we see them getting cloned. I thought it was pretty cold. Like you see her get up and take her own earring off her dead body.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, that's kind of crazy. And her hair is back to what it naturally is. And so she's like, oh crap, it costs so much money to fix this up and whatever.
And this is the first sin coding moment too, where we see how it integrates into their brain and how they flash it back in. And she wakes up, she's like, God damn it, Wiley.
Yeah.
When the bad guys actually get to the police station, Adam is trapped, and the only way for him to get out is through the wall like the news is on.
There's a hole behind the television
or something.
Well, that's like the mod. It's meant to be like that futuristic interrogation room, like the classic, mirror glass window thing. Right. But instead, it's this. Yeah, once again, just
so he's got to break through that, right?
Some flash advertisement screen, right?
I thought it was like a Shawshank Redemption, in the future, where instead of the poster, they just had a TV.
Yeah.
In reality.
Arnie's like, some breaking news, and just goes through the news program.
Oh my God, that would have been such a great line there.
Awesome.
Yeah. That would have been a banger.
Missed out on some chances for him to do that for sure. He kind of just strolls out of there, and Adam runs into Wiley, who stayed outside because he was having phantom chest pain.
Yeah, the bad guys show up, so he's also able to see that through the blinds of the interrogation room.
Because he feels his past self got run over by a truck or whatever. So just wait outside. And so Arnie strolls out and runs right into him. He's like, I thought you were dead. And he's like, no, you're dead. And Arnie, do you guys ever see Running Man?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. With the girl, he says, I could snap your neck like a chicken.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
He does it in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
barely any effort. He grabs him by his chin and he's like, snap. And at this point, I'm thinking the same thing you were thinking, like, how?
Yeah.
Can he do this?
Yeah.
Like that?
Dude's
Dude's dead.
Set no precedence for this at all.
No, he manhandles the guy, grabs his gun, snaps his neck, walks away. I did think it was hilarious when they're like, "This guy is clearly dead."
This is the
dude. Like trying to stick his tongue back in his mouth.
Moment with Michael Rooker
and Terry Crews.
He's fine.
Yeah. He'll be all right. Yeah, they're literally picking him up. His tongue's falling out. His neck breaks even more. His head just dangles at a 45-degree angle.
No,
he's like a 90-degree angle.
Weekend at Bernie's moment.
Yeah, for sure. Like, oh my gosh.
But tell me that Michael Rooker just doesn't sell the.
He does.
Oh, he does.
He absolutely does.
Oh my gosh, this scene, I'm like, yes, freaking only Michael Rooker.
I would believe him.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It didn't seem super obvious.
No.
I mean, it does because we know that he's actually dead.
Yeah.
So we have the inside information. But to a standard buy who's like, Michael Rooker tells you.
Yeah.
No,
he's not dead. He's just got a cold. He's got a little sniffles.
He's got to breathe through his mouth.
Yeah.
He's a mouth breather.
Yeah. He's fine. He's got a hangnail.
We're going to have this guy back up in the gym, pick up his head.
Yep.
No, it's always like that.
Yeah.
He was born without a neck. It's a miracle of modern science, actually.
Turned into a chicken neck.
This is where we finally get to see.
It's a chicken.
Chicken head. Was it chicken head or chicken neck? One of the two.
Either way.
It's a slang term for something else.
We go back to Hanks. This is the first time we've seen Rappaport since he got shot. And he's walking back into his house now. He didn't get cloned right away. I'm guessing because they didn't realize he was dead. And so he's just now getting back to his house for the first time since that all went down to see his smoking virtual girlfriend.
He's got how many missed calls from Arnie at this time?
Who knows? He's chilling there. He sits in the chair. Oh, I think it's so sexy when you go straight to the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Her line of dialogue is like, "Hi, I taped all of your sports games for you. Do you want to watch them together?" It's like, wow.
Yes.
This isn't just like the typical.
I do.
Johnny Phoenix in the sports ball league. We've got it right here.
The sports ball.
It's ridiculous.
Do you realize they basically did the same thing with Blade Runner 20?
I haven't seen 2049.
Blade Runner 2049.
That is done like tastefully. This is basically like the same thing.
This is the trashy version.
This is definitely the trashy version.
In 2049, it's done as if it's like really fleshed out and
romantic,
holistic.
I can't get the virtual girlfriend. Just it's a computer, right? Hello, I taped all of your sports games.
She's really into him though.
She's into him. Yeah. She can't pick out which images have a crosswalk in them, but she can, she can clear your cache in under 5 minutes.
Yeah, she can't tell. She can't tell if you're dead or just sleeping on the ground.
That's a yes.
But she's into you,
right? Mm-hmm. Don't ask her to do a captcha, a captcha, or whatever the hell it is.
Yep.
How many stoplights are in this picture?
How many stoplights are this? Oh, honey, let's just watch sports ball together. She just changed this. She changed the damn subject. If you're like, which of these has a bus?
Yeah.
Right? Can't do it. I don't know, but I can fondle your nuts.
I was gonna say, but she can. but she can unzip pants.
I don't quite understand. Like this pad comes over the top of the what you call it and attaches to your forehead. Is it like make you like take your own pants off?
Now you can feel what's happening, I think.
Yeah, but how physically this is pants coming off?
It's just like the Sex and Demolition Man.
Yeah. Don't think about it too hard. Right. Fluid transfer?
Is it like tricking him to doing it himself? But
Maybe.
yet he thinks it's actually a model instead?
It's a very, very expensive masturbation chair.
I was just gonna say it's
very expensive.
just like and I love you, man.
His zipper has Bluetooth. And
that's what it is.
Yeah. Kind of like Back to the Future. Michael J. Fox had those like auto tying shoes.
Yeah.
That was a futuristic thing.
Right.
Now
the jacket is now dry.
Now there's auto dropping pants.
That's right. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Funny enough, both of those movies take place in the same time.
2015.
Back to the Future Part 2 and The Sixth Day are both supposedly take place in 2015.
Oh my gosh.
They both got it wrong.
Yeah.
They did.
Right.
Wasn't a Kardashian on a screen anywhere.
No.
All right. So Adam does show up at Hank's house, and Hank's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And so it's a very short scene. He just basically brings him back to Adam's house where he saw the dog and himself. And they crawl through the bushes into the backyard where Adam number 2 is now fixing his garage.
I'll tell you, the size of this yard.
He's fixing his garage, and Adam number 1 goes, I'm going to kill him because he's not a real person.
Yeah, exactly.
So it won't matter. Like he doesn't. It's not like I'm killing a human being.
Yep.
He goes out there and he ultimately chickens out and doesn't kill him. He has a chance to, but doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Gets back into the freaking bushes.
This has got to be one of Joe's favorite parts too.
Why?
Well, because Michael Rappaport's, but how do I know you're not the clone? How do I know you're really you?
Oh, that's right.
And he says, "Oh, wait, you cut yourself shaving this morning."
Oh yeah, you're you.
He's like, "Oh yeah, you're you."
No. He leaves him alive. Okay, so I knew right away they're gonna have a team up.
Yeah.
It's like, again, this is they're being so sloppy with this, and again, comes the shaving thing.
I've got to call you out. There's no way. Personally, I did not think just because he didn't kill him that means they're going to team up later in the movie.
I knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I've watched too many movies.
And I haven't.
Yeah. I know how it's going to go down.
It's hard to have a fresh perspective on it.
It is, I suppose.
Well, his is the fresh perspective.
No, that's what I'm saying. But it's hard for me to have a fresh perspective.
Because, like I'm saying, like as a 12-year-old watching this movie in 2000,
you're not picking up.
I'm not picking up on any of this.
No.
So, like when you said, "Oh, we're doing the Sixth Day," I'm like, I've seen that movie like 30 times.
Yeah.
Like I don't even need to watch it.
right.
I had only seen it the once, and I remember thinking, "Oh God, do I even like this movie?" I don't think I do.
I don't remember.
I do.
Yes, you do.
All right, wifey comes out for a little cigar action. Like let's smoke some cigars and we'll bang in the minivan. And,
This is just the worst.
It's disgusting.
what part is disgusting? That they want to bang in the minivan?
No,
it's the cigar thing.
Yes, it is.
And then they're really painting it as like cigars are this aphrodisiac. Like that's what gets the chicks.
Oh, I
It's
like what cigars do to you. She says at one point.
I have
Yes.
never met a woman that likes cigar smoke.
Thank you.
Not once.
Not even
Not
one.
even once.
You?
Nope.
I have partaked in cigars
Yep.
in my past.
Yeah.
And nobody has enjoyed them but me.
No. Exactly. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, every time I've had a cigar and I go, like, Steph is like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
you had a cigar tonight.
Yeah.
Go take a shower.
Go take a
Yeah.
brush your teeth.
Yeah.
wash your beard.
And then maybe we can sit next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. It's a weird scene, and they're watching them start to flirt and stuff, and then the daughter comes into the bushes,
Yes.
and finds her dad in the bushes, right? And he's like, doesn't it?
What are you doing
Yeah, what are
here?
you doing here? It puts her
What are you
back
doing here?
in the bushes with Hank. Puts her to bed.
Right.
No mention of Uncle Hank.
No.
You know.
She doesn't even act like he's there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes in to put her to bed while Adam number 2 is in the minivan with the wife getting
Yeah.
on. And
Oh, yeah.
he
Smoking my cigars
that's right.
with my wife in my.
In my Christmas tree. Did the wife in the Christmas tree. Puts her to bed. Michael Rooker shows up at the house with Talia. He answers the door. Okay, now you're in a precarious situation because if they see you together, then you'll know he's putting it on like he's Adam number 2.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Answering the door with a golf club like, oh, I've never seen you guys in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine being in this scenario. The other you is screwing your wife in the van, and you have to answer the door and hope that you last longer than you normally do, so that
Well, maybe
so
that's
that he doesn't come out and interrupt while you guys are doing it.
He has some inside trading information. He knows exactly how long he has.
I got it. Okay, so he knew he was in no danger at all.
Yeah, he was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good for about 25 minutes.
That's right. Perfect.
I can get the kids to bed. I can hide behind,
We had time for a story.
Yep,
Just say,
story time.
You could have
I can
another
make
bowl of
myself-
cereal.
Yeah, I can have a bowl of cereal.
I was
catch up
it's
on the
just
game.
Such a goofy situation.
And we can take care of the security
is.
guard.
This is a very strange scene in this movie.
Yeah.
In a movie that has some relatively by the numbers stuff, this scene stands out as like, well, I don't know if that really had a place there.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like, why do they come back to the house at that point?
I think he's trying to prove to Hank that he's cloned.
No, I mean, even like, why do you have
Why does
Michael
Rooker come back?
Why
Yeah,
does
no
Marshall and Talia, they just come back, oh, just, we heard
Just
you had some
checking.
stuff earlier. We're just checking back up on you real quick. Like,
It's just to create tension. There's no,
I know,
there's
that's what
no
I mean.
reason.
It's just, and
No
like
reason.
his whole thing, yes, it's the,
No reason.
No reason.
I don't use that one that off.
But then the dog comes over. So it finishes up. The dog comes in.
Yeah.
There's a tense moment where the dog.
yeah, and the dog's barking. He's like, oh, sorry, he's a repeat.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever,
That's right. And ultimately, they hide before the other Arnold comes in and investigates, essentially. So
Yes.
it all amounts to nothing.
Because you know that Arnold is definitely fitting behind that couch.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the nice thing about 2D, baby.
Yeah.
Is that thing was probably 10 feet away from that window, and you'd never know. This couch is
Movie
huge.
magic. There's about a 3-foot ditch underneath that thing as well.
Trick photography.
That's right. They end up going back to Hank's house, and they have the scene where it's like, what were they doing in the van? Nothing. They just did nothing.
Yeah.
3 times they did nothing.
Yeah.
And they're all talking around what actually happened. And Trip, snowboarding extreme guy, shows up and shoots Hank through the window.
Yeah.
Literally out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Mid-conversation.
I don't know how he got back.
He walked back.
Yeah.
He snowboarded back.
Dude.
Down the highway. He Marty McFly. He was holding on.
I
to the
was
car.
gonna say he didn't hit a hovercraft.
That's right.
Or a hoverboard, and he just came back on that.
Came back on a hoverboard.
He runs in. He starts to wrestle with Adam over the gun. And Adam turns on the virtual slut to
just
distract him.
He's just like, Trip,
Yeah.
you just shot my friend.
Trip, but you hear you shooting my friends now? That you a cool snowboarding guy.
But that's exactly what it is. Yeah. There's no like, oh, my best friend just got killed in front of me.
Right.
There's no like, wait a minute, you from earlier, like none of it.
Right. But other than that, they just start to wrestle.
But Trip is all he's like, just back away.
That's right.
Get away, get back. He's a clone.
Yeah.
So why didn't Trip shoot Arnold then? Because Trip knew that he was
a threat.
They're about to, but
Trip didn't know that Arnie was the clone. He knew that Hank was.
Yeah. That's true. He says they cloned you, but he didn't say you're a clone.
Oh,
right. I got you. Yeah.
Got it.
After he turns on Virtual Slut and she comes on and distracts him, Trip ultimately runs into the parking garage and Arnold chases after him.
Yeah.
Gets into a VW bug and crashes it immediately.
Yes.
Like immediately.
Because all the futuristic cars were in this movie.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. For Clint, I do love the fact that they just took normal cars and then like put a new piece of grill over the front.
Yes,
and then extremely large hubcaps.
Yep. Yes.
And then put like a whizzing, whirring electronic sound to it. And they're like,
Yeah.
Future car.
You nailed it.
yep.
Like the Denali, the Suburban or
Yep.
whatever that they all drive around in. And Hank's F1, or no, he had a 1500 or something.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the girlfriend upstairs, DH1K, is like, going, oh, is Hank sleeping on the floor again?
Aww.
That's so cute.
It's cute when you're bleeding out.
Yeah. Oh, Adam, is Hank dead?
Clearly.
Adam runs out there and pulls him out of the wrecked VW, and this is where he gives his little speech. Trip does about he killed the clone for God. And, we've got people on the inside. The bad guys are showing up. You got to kill me because I don't want them to read my brain.
Yeah.
Know where the people on the inside
You gotta
are.
shoot me in the head, destroy my brain.
And he ends up grabbing the gun and shooting himself in the head before Michael Rooker and them get there.
Yeah.
And when they get there, they're searching the garage for Arnie.
Information overload.
And they can't find him until Arnie shoots through Michael Rooker's leg with a phaser gun.
Yes.
That was crazy.
Blasts his
straight through his leg. Like butter. And it's still just standing there.
Yes.
Just like a lit cigarette.
It is like there's literally a cutback during this whole action scene. There's a cutback close up of literally the skin still disintegrating down.
Yep. And it's smoldering.
Yep.
And Talia's there, and he's like, "Doesn't anybody stay dead anymore?" And like blows her hand apart, like all the fingers on her hand.
Yep. Blows her fingers
Go
up.
flying.
I like this action scene.
Yeah, this
I
was
like this
good.
one.
It's
Yeah,
cool.
for parking lot action scenes go.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
He goes to try and get away in the car, but it needs a thumbprint.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you because I seen they were using thumbprints before.
Yeah.
The moment her hand got blown off,
Saw where this was going.
I knew where it was going.
Joe, you just knew
When
everything.
I seen the fingers hit the ground,
Easy
I
to
go,
say after the fact.
I go, she's gonna pick it up and use her fingers.
Yeah.
I'm saying
There's no
either I've watched
way.
too many movies or this was just so obvious.
I think you watched this movie 5 years ago and just
no,
didn't
I
remember.
didn't.
That's what I think. I think you watched The Sixth Day before, and you were, I don't know.
Go back, watch it again, man. It's so obvious.
I don't know.
Everything they do is so obvious. There's no plot twist to this movie whatsoever.
Are you sure? There's a pretty big plot twist.
There is.
When?
I mean, we'll get there. We can't spoil it.
Oh, I can.
He picks up her thumb unexpectedly, uses it in the car.
Because there's a countdown.
There's a countdown.
Because there's a countdown in the Suburban
That's
of
right.
you have 10 seconds for biometric authentication.
Right.
Yes.
Insert more drama.
Right.
No reason.
That's how all
Their
security
reason.
systems work.
That's isn't it?
Yeah.
Tells you exactly what's going to happen.
So that you can avoid it. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This car's going to blow up.
How
if you
about
don't
silently wait 10 seconds and then explode the car? He ends up getting away. Fine. Catherine, meanwhile, Joe's favorite character, the sick wife of Robert Duvall, has collapsed while she's flipping flowers or whatever.
Flipping flowers.
And now
Another
she's-
scene with Robert Duvall being whispery.
And now she's in the hospital with him. I've combined the two scenes together. Essentially, this happened.
It's good enough, yeah.
This happened separately, but I'm just putting them together. Now she's in the hospital with Duvall, and she's dying. Cystic fibrosis of, which is, the nurse is even like, that's weird because it's a childhood disease. So we're gonna scan her again. No, I'll just
I'll
take
do
her
it
to
I'll do it at my clinic.
I got one in the office. I'll
Don't worry
scan
about
her
it.
over there, and no big.
I don't want to pay the insurance premium.
It's Tuesday.
But in a very heartfelt scene, which I know must have been very difficult for you, she says,
No.
Don't clone me again. I had my time.
No, but when she found out that she had fibrosis,
Cystic fibrosis.
thank you, I knew that was going to play another part.
Shut up! You're just doing this now. Now you're just leaning into the joke.
I am being so
she has cystic
serious.
fibrosis, so that means Drucker is implanting genetic defects into the lines in case people don't play ball.
No,
I know where this is going.
I didn't get the whole play ball.
I know where this.
But I knew I knew there was something up with him messing with the genetic code.
Yes, because the nurse, who has a very obvious line of like,
Thank you.
"Oh yeah, we did the genome scan.
Thank you.
Came back
It could have
cystic
just been like
fibrosis."
the side effects of cloning people multiple times, right? I mean, how would you make that connection that it's got to be the guy that's doing it purposely?
Well, let's just
Did
say
you think that?
I didn't think that. No.
All right. I'll pull back off of this because I'm going to waste the whole show.
Let's
on
just say-
me being right.
I just figured it was because the clone was only 5 years old.
Yeah. See?
See?
well,
there you
right,
go.
because that's another thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Clones have a shorter shelf life.
She says the last 5 years were a gift, but leave it at that, right? Don't want any more life. Adam walks into Replacement Tech, which is the company that Drucker runs and that Dr. Weir works at.
There's a few of them.
Yeah.
He's got like 7 companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Replacement Tech, he walks in there with a cooler with some duct tape around it, and he's using Talia's thumb to get into places until a security guard says, "Hey, I got to check that." But he uses some fast talking about a flesh-eating virus that he's bringing in for inspection.
Dr. Weir wants these small intestines to research some flesh-eating virus.
Just try not to breathe.
Just try not to. Yeah,
It
exactly.
was a good delivery, I think, from Arnold. And it's like, "Oh no, you're clear. Go
My
ahead."
biggest question is, why is it in a Coleman?
Yeah.
It looked like he's going tailgating, right? More
Yeah.
or like fishing.
Got some tamales in there.
It's a Coleman with some duct tape. Oh,
Right.
Yes, that must be a highly medical.
Contagious.
That might be a highly contagious medical experiment.
Must be
for sure.
Talia and Rooker show up, and her thumb doesn't work when she tries to scan it, which is how they figure out that he's in the building somehow.
I will say this is clever. This little bit of let's call it is clever. Let's go ahead.
Joe gives his flowers.
I did say, I'm like, okay, this is the fact that they showed up afterwards.
Yeah.
And then she can't get in.
No.
because
I'm amazed
her
you didn't see it
I
coming.
didn't see that one coming.
I assumed when he showed up with that cooler, you were like, "Oh, I know what he's going to go in, and then she'll come in after and
I did
won't
not
be
see
able to
this
get
one.
in."
Like I'm going to pull back from this. But that's the last one. I'll just.
Yeah. You know, when I saw that Roger Spottiswoode directed this movie, I figured that in the end, the bad guy's DNA wouldn't fully load into the slate,
Oh.
right? Because it's a Roger Spottiswoode movie.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
Hot off the heels of his best movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies. 97. Yeah, he made a Bond movie.
Yeah.
After Stopping My Mom Will Shoot. That's an amazing turnaround.
He was like a TV guy and
Yeah.
a TV episode guy, and he did some terrible movies, and then they're like, wait a minute, do James Bond.
Adam instead switches when his thumb wouldn't work anymore. He switches to use a security guard at gunpoint to do the thumb stuff.
Because it turns out there was just a gun in the cooler.
That's right. That's all the
Why
cooler
didn't he
was.
just bring it in his jacket the whole
Yeah.
time?
I don't. Did he walk through a detector? I don't remember.
Not really.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
At this point, Rooker rushes into Drucker's office and he's like, "We think I don't know if I could do a Michael Rooker. We think
It's actually pretty good.
we think that Adam Gibson's in the building. Well, why wasn't he taken care of?" And I want to be like,
It's okay.
That's all right.
"Why wasn't he taken care of? Because it's goddamn Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
That's why he's not taken care of yet,
Oh, yeah, when Drucker gets pissed.
right?" It's
There's
like, come
4
on,
of you.
man. There's 4 of you.
For you, only one of them. Whatever.
Adam, this is when Adam shows up at Robert Duvall's office and he expo dumps on everything. He just dumps out everything to Arnold.
Everything.
This is what happened.
Yep.
This is the recording. Here's where Drucker got killed. Here's where your
Yep.
friend got killed. Here's, like, blah, blah, blah. We used a sim cording. It wasn't the blood test. Just
Yep.
everything. Ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
ding.
Yep.
They
And he's-
cast Robert Duvall to do 3 scenes and expo dump and leave.
That was it.
I disagree.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Please.
here's your
We're
chance.
not there yet.
All
We're
right,
not
when
there
we
yet.
get there,
We're not there yet.
Yeah,
Voice
we're
your
Okay.
side of it, okay?
Because this is now his 4th scene, his
Yes.
big expo dump of yes.
Right.
and,
Adam,
and he's expo dumping because of his wife.
Yes.
His wife has now died.
Yes.
He's starting to lose hope and started to lose faith in the program. So he's just like, I'm done.
Tells him everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Adam ends up taking his sim cording and Drucker's sim cording. That's important. And then leaves. Okay.
Because they're all on, floppy disks.
That's out. This little
Zip disk.
zip disc.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Cut to this is the one line before he parts ways with Doctor and he handcuffs him to a door or whatever.
Yeah.
They're probably going to go after your family for this. And he's like, oh, crap, we got to get to the elementary school because there's a play going on. Cut to the elementary school, whatever the hell elementary school this is.
The mall atrium or something.
Right. Where Dobermans are hall monitors.
What in the heck was the Dobermans for?
You can't just walk in and be Terry Crews and snatch up a girl. You got to send in
Robotically
dogs.
controlled dogs?
Their whole plan hinged on the fact that she just had to use the bathroom at that time.
Right. What were they going to do? Just
What were they going to do if she didn't?
While she's on stage twirling with the other trees?
I was going to say,
Just
gonna
send
walk
out
out there
dogs.
if she didn't have to pee at that moment, what were they going to do?
Right.
They
Probably.
would interrupt the teddy bear picnic.
This is what they're going to do.
That's probably what the Dobermans were
The
for.
dogs are going to chase her off the stage, and everybody's like, "We're sorry, one of our actresses got chased away by Dobermans.
Yeah.
We're going to take 5. We're going to come back. We're going to restart this whole play." Mom and Dad are like, "That's weird that she's not up. She's supposed to be up there." First of all, as a theater kid, I'm like, "You don't go to the bathroom in the middle of a show when you're supposed to be on stage."
No.
Okay, never.
Yeah, but maybe she's like that kid that's just has to do it because she's in 5th grade and you just have to do the 5th grade pageant or the
guess.
whatever the course.
That's in 4th grade. Everybody had to be part of it. I remember
Exactly.
that. That could be the case. Fine. But then when Mom goes out and sees 2 Dobermans cornering her daughter, she kind of undersells it a little bit.
And just walks right up to her, right
like,
between the dogs.
Oh gosh, ooh, this is pretty.
God,
It's like,
yeah,
not
like,
why
oh,
the
hey.
frick are there Dobermans in the hallway?
Yeah.
Right.
Are these the school Dobermans?
The school Dobermans.
Do you think, I don't know. Again, I was trying to figure things out. And I had most of this stuff I was getting perfectly, just nailing it. But I'm so awesome.
His third reference after saying he was going to stop.
But was this like a bit of a thing where with the make a pet was Arnold was like, oh no, I want to make sure that this animal with sharp teeth is not going to be a danger to my daughter. Here now you got robotically controlled or mind controlled dogs to do their bidding. Was that do you think that was on purpose or I'm just reading it too much?
I think you're reaching there.
The whole thing
They're
was
just dogs.
that the whole repet thing was a foreshadowing to these robotically mind controlled, sharp toothed,
Bridge too far.
genetically enhanced
movie.
Dobermans.
Not this one. I thought it was. That's what they were trying to do.
Well, in that case, the screenwriters are just genius.
Again, Terry
could have been
Crews
wrong
shows
on
up
this
at the weirdest times and just imagine this woman. You saved your daughters from these Dobermans, or you're surrounded by Dobermans, and then Terry Crews shows up to steal you.
Yeah.
Well, and she's like, "Oh, sir, help!
Yeah.
Sir, help!" And he's like,
Hold on, he gets his iPhone 1.
"Yes,
He's got to stop the
His
original
BlackBerry
iPhone.
out.
His BlackBerry to stop these dogs from trying to kill her. Adam number 2 tries to call 911 from a computer in the office there. Nobody has cell phones in the future.
Nope.
Apparently.
This is a trope too.
Yeah.
In the future, 911 is terrible, puts you on hold.
Yes.
And makes you want to die.
Automated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Press 1 if this is a murder in progress.
Yeah.
Stop it. I love Arnold yelling at an automated machine. Though.
Human.
I think that's just 911 in New York City these days."
These days, maybe. There are 87 emergencies ahead of you.
That is, you are caller number 512.
If you want to call back when it's your turn, press
Yes.
1.
That's what I mean.
It's ridiculous. Adam, this is where the first time they interact. Adam number 1 rushes in and says, "Don't even bother trying to call the police because the police are no help." And he turns and is like, "Oh, what?" The other Arnold's like, he's like, "We have to hit my family." And he's like, "My family."
Yeah.
And this is where Arnie punches other Arnie out and knocks him out.
Yeah.
This was sleeping with my wife in the damn minivan.
Which I had a hard time believing. Not that I believed it, but I had a hard time fathoming the fact that one Arnold Schwarzenegger could hit another Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, what would happen in real life if that actually happened?
I thought, according to Doc Brown, that it would destroy the space-time continuum.
That's what I thought was going to happen. Because how can an immovable object?
Well, this isn't time travel.
Oh, that's true.
I was going to say,
It's
there's
true.
no
It's a
time
clone.
travel. It's all clones, yeah.
But you're right. If one is an immovable object, and the other is an irresistible force, what happens? It's amazing the Earth didn't split through the axis of itself.
Right.
So what if your clone time traveled and punched you in the face? Would that be okay?
Because it's not actually you. I think it would be. I think you could do that.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something here.
That should be the next movie.
We should write that one.
That should be the 7th day.
This, Well, it'd have to be the 8th day. On the 7th day, God rested. He did.
He took a break.
7th day. So
Just like
the 8th day.
The 8th day.
It's really confusing. Or the 6th day too.
update the
I was in a play called The 8th Day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a thing.
You gotta
Or
adapt
what,
it.
like the 12th day?
Yeah.
Like they just copied the 6th day.
Perfect.
It's like a prequel to 12th Night.
They
Yeah,
duplicated
that's right.
it.
The 12th night,
They
Yes.
cloned.
but not the Shakespeare one.
Clone the...
It'd just be the 6th day again.
Yeah.
But it's got a little white dot underneath it.
Groundhog Day 2.
That's what it is.
The 6th day. White dot.
Yeah, that's right. White dot. See if anybody gets it.
I've gone cross-eyed.
And you released the same movie, and there's just a white dot on the screen the whole time.
Yep.
And it's just a clone of the 6th day. Come on, how much money do you want to make?
All of it.
Clearly not more than $100 million.
Maybe today would do better.
Maybe.
They cut to Drucker's office, and someone's calling him on their wall phone or whatever. And so Rooker's like, it's him. Like he just called 1-800-Drucker or whatever and got straight to his office, from the school office or whatever.
That's the law firm.
Yeah. And then they negotiate a peaceful handoff, essentially, a trade.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Drucker wants his SIM card, and he wants his family. Okay, sure. SIM carding, whatever.
SIM card. It's all the same stuff.
Card, yeah.
I want my flash drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite moment in the movie is the two Arnies building explosives together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun,
It is.
Yeah.
right?
Which is the war reference.
yeah,
that you missed.
Because I was
Finally.
too busy
You were just too starstruck.
basking in the glory.
You
of
were like, two Arnolds.
two Arnolds in the same.
I don't even care what this dialogue is.
One time.
Yes, and the moment worked. To this day, it works. It worked back then, and it still works when they both look at each other and go, "Cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great moment.
was
Yeah,
a
it
fun
is.
moment.
It's a
It
good
is.
moment.
No, I do.
It's like the Doublemint twins, but better.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're making something that burns through the table and like,
Thermite.
kind of thermite.
Yeah, they're making thermite plasma.
Yeah,
right.
thermite.
stuff.
Yeah.
Fun.
But that's when he's like, you're using too much aluminum or whatever. And
Yep.
Here's where Dr. Weir shows he's the stupidest character in the entire movie because he marches into Drucker's office and says, I know that you've been modifying everybody's DNA
Yeah.
and that you did this to my wife. And Johnny Phoenix has got a brain tumor or whatever the other one.
liver
looked at.
cancer. So Robert Duvall has a brief one-off scene of going
Yeah.
through files of clones and finds all these congenital defects that he's modifying, right?
Throws the folders down in front of him. And at first, Drucker's trying to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about Catherine.
Yeah.
Come on, bring it in,
Zip it.
buddy. Bring it in. Give me a
Zip
hug.
it. Nope.
This is what I mean,
Zip it.
though.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall lights him up.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
But he's a moron.
No, I know...
What did he think was going to happen?
Look, the character in the sense of like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go in and quit. Like
He says, I quit.
I quit. And he takes his white lab coat off.
If I can't bring Catherine back again, I'm not bringing anybody back again.
Yeah. That's,
Right. Done. He's
That's
like,
rational.
I did like his line reading when he said, and obviously we're not going to charge you for cloning Catherine. And he's like, oh, no charge. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Right. Like, it's like, we got real quiet with it before he
did.
basically
No,
said, go screw yourself.
This is what I mean. Like, at least Robert Duvall gets this one scene. Last night, I'm watching the scene. I'm like, yes, this is why Robert Duvall is a freaking master.
He's great.
Because he lights this scene up.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it ends the way it
Then,
does.
as soon as he says, I quit on doing this anymore, you're like, yeah, that's not an option.
Yeah.
I'm just going to kill you and clone you and your wife back again, and you won't even realize
Yep.
what happened.
He just says, by the way, I'm just going to take your latest SIM coding, and you won't even remember any of this.
Right.
And then he literally just shoots him in the face.
And that's it for Robert Duvall.
that's it.
Because he never does get cloned because it all goes to hell before that happens.
Yeah.
But like, as much as I liked his character, and he's an endearing character in this movie, I was like, yeah, bud, you had to kind of see that one coming.
No, that was a bad plan.
That was a real bad
That was a
plan.
really bad plan.
It's a Frankenstein thing again.
Yeah. I mean, he's no Joe Gortowski. He didn't see it coming. Right? If he was Joe, he would have known exactly where this was going.
Yep. Of
course.
Right?
It's true.
You would have had
I knew you were going to say that.
You would have had a different plan.
Did you see that joke coming?
Yep.
That's why I had that one loaded.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Rooker shows up at the charter airport, and one of the whispercrafts
Whispercrafts.
hovering.
Whispercraft.
Show me my family, like comes from like the intercom on the whatever. Now this everybody knew was a drone, right? Or were you just like
No,
you didn't know that
when I seen the joystick, I knew that was going to be
You're
a part of it. But
fine.
whatever.
So no one thought he was actually in that when he blew it up, because they blew it up immediately.
But this is the plan where
he knew he was going to blow it up.
Arnold knows that it's a bad plan, so he's playing possum in the sense of like he knows that they're just going to light it up because they don't even talk to it. They literally pull up in the truck.
Yeah.
And Talia and Marshall just.
Right.
Yep.
And so
That's it.
Cut
It's
to him
over.
flying the other chopper. And he's like, those bastards, I knew they were going to do this. And they lands on Replacement Technologies, shows them the charter contract that he had with Drucker to pick him up. And I'm like, I love that the freedom of the free world in cloning rests on the fact they still use carbon paper in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a major plot point.
And the security guard guard's just like,
this checks out.
there's no.
It's all wrinkled and it's
wrinkled.
like the date's wrong.
I was gonna say check the date. Just check the date.
If it were realistic, it would have been on his phone. He's like, let me pull up the PDF.
That's right. Here it is.
Oh yeah,
right.
sign with your finger. Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't have worked.
He's like, oh yeah, head on inside. You just landed a random chopper on the top of the building. No problem.
Oh yeah.
Dude goes in. He's running through the facility. He's one-shotting security cameras that are far away, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, his skill. And what the hell did he do in the military? Because he picking off these cameras, puts up a decent fight, gets trapped in a stairwell between some security guards and Michael Rooker and the guys down there.
Yep.
And ultimately surrenders himself
Exactly.
to be taken into Drucker's office.
Which at this point, they only wanted to kill him when he was in the helicopter.
Right.
But now that he's cornered in a stairwell where they actually have
him,
like,
we're going to take him
now-
alive.
Yes.
And
Because
now it
why
turns
in the
into-
hell would they blow up his first whispercraft?
Yes.
Whispercraft. Because don't they need him in the sim cording? Why would you do that? Why?
Maybe
It makes more sense to take him alive to Drucker's office because where is it? Do you have it?
they don't
Can I
even
have
need
it?
the SIM cording. They just need to destroy it.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't have it on him is what I'm saying.
I mean, you know what? No one
So
said
this to me made more sense. Like, okay, bring him into the office. All right, where is it? Cough it up, right? Because he has leverage. That's the whole reason you're doing an exchange in the first place is because Adam has some kind of leverage over them.
Yeah.
Right? And they have their own
And
leverage.
Drucker
with the
is
family.
all about leverage.
That's what I'm saying. So, whatever.
Leverage.
Leverage.
But he does the old Trojan horse trick.
The leverage.
He wants to be captured. He wants to be brought in.
This is where I was like, I remember sitting there in the theater with you, Brady, just going, what? Drucker tells him, he's not the clone, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, the shaving mark. No, the shaving mark.
Exactly.
Irrefutable
The
evidence.
shaving mark.
It's like easily replicated. Same with your old war wound.
Yeah.
Right? How many times have you been cloned, Tyler? She's like, I lost count.
Yeah. She
But then
can't
it was
even,
only
She can't even count,
can't
to,
count to
four.
four.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it was going to be like 17 or something like that. She's like, oh, hold on, let me pull this down. It was just going to be.
She's like, I love how she's like, Psh, I've lost count. 3 of them have happened in the movie.
Yeah.
In the last 48 hours.
Right. She's got 4. So he goes over to the mirror or whatever and pulls down his left eyelid. And sure enough, there's the whitehead there.
There, he's got it.
A little sty in the eye.
You know?
Yep.
And he's like, look, man, you don't have any rights. You're not a real person. But join with me, and I am going to defeat death, essentially, right? I will, 2 to 3 years, we'll have the laws change.
No longer will we have to lose our Mozarts and our whatever, his whole monologue thing about it.
I believe Tony Goldwyn's performance that he thinks he's the hero of the story.
Oh yeah. 1,000,000%.
He thinks he's defeating death.
Yes.
Which to him is worth whatever collateral damage he has because ultimately it's going to be good for mankind.
Yeah.
The problem is when Adam asks him the question, he's like, so in this utopia, who decides who lives or dies? You?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, you got a better idea? He's like, how about God? And he said, I'm just picking up where God left off.
Yeah.
I do like the wording of this particular scene.
Yes.
And even how, like, you know, the camera's like moving with him. And as he's approaching him, he's like, if God created man in his own image, then he basically more or less is saying, like, if God created man in his own image, he made it okay for me to learn how to do this.
He gave me the ability to figure this out. Right?
Exactly.
And says, I'm taking over where he left off.
Yeah.
And this is in a movie that one of its shortcomings, I will admit, is not that many Arnie one-liners compared to some of his other films.
No.
But then we get a doozy here because he says, if you believe you're taking up for God, then you should clone yourself while you're still alive.
Why?
He says, why? So I can enjoy your unique perspective? No. So you can go yourself.
Yeah.
It's the only Arnie one-liner.
I was like,
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. It was a beautiful line.
it was.
It was.
Yeah.
It's
It
great.
is the only Arnie one-liner in the movie.
I mean,
more or
if
less.
you don't count the reference back to it in a few minutes here.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
Like, there should have been more than that, I feel like.
Well,
Right?
Yeah.
it wasn't really an Arnie vehicle,
No.
so that was kind of the thing,
Right.
you know. But they never retooled
Talk
it.
about that later.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. But it's such a great moment. And at that point, they just beat the crap out of him and they go force a SIM coding on him so they could look back at his brain scan and figure out where the hell the SIM coding is for him and his other clone and all that stuff. And Drucker thinks he's not, or he's at the airport or whatever, but he realizes at the last second there's a second reflection in the windshield of the plane, the Whispercraft.
Yep.
Whispercraft.
And
Nobody saw that coming.
And he goes, it's actually genius. I thought this was genius. And if you saw it coming, whatever. But he goes, oh, of course. He makes us think he's not around. And he comes in and he shoots out all the cameras. Meanwhile, the other one is free to roam the facility while I've got you here. And Arnie's like faking like he's knocked out and he opens the one eye. I love that.
I'm not
He's like, I got you. You know. You think I'm unconscious? You think this is the real Quaid? No, I'm just kidding.
Total
It is.
recall, man.
Oh, it's so great. Adam number 1. Now we realize Adam number 1 is actually Adam number 2, as I've been referencing them. And now Adam Prime it shows up in
Real Adam.
Why haven't we used Prime before? That's
yeah.
would've
Why
been
haven't we
perfect.
pointed out that his name is Adam?
I already caught it.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
You got all the name connected with Phoenix and Adam, and I didn't think of
Yeah,
any
the
of this
first.
stuff.
You didn't think of the Adam one?
No.
This for 24 years.
Never put it together.
This never.
I'm an idiot. This is what we're establishing. Joe knew he was named Adam before he saw the movie.
I was kind of wondering why his wife wasn't Eve.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a little too
that was
heavy.
even
That
for
would've
them. They're like,
Yeah, they were like, no, we can't go there.
her name's Evelyn. Adam Prime hits the power.
What is her name?
I don't even know. Wendy?
Look it up. Look it up.
That's her
That's her
actress,
actress
name.
name.
That's her actress name. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Look it up.
We'll find
We'll
out.
find out before.
Anyway, we're so
Yeah, keep
close to
going,
the
Walt.
end here.
Yeah,
It's
guys.
Natalie. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
never mind.
Adam Prime hits the power. Number 2 then uses Drucker as a human shield, which Wiley idiotically shoots. I'll shoot through boss and get man. Just gut shots the boss, Michael Drucker.
Who hasn't wanted to gut shot their boss from time to time?
And then Adam dives out of the room. Okay, sorry. Adam Prime goes and gets his family very easily from Terry Crews. Is this about the cigars? You know, the wife says. He's like, yes, it's about the cigars. We're in deep shit. Do you think they would kidnap people and blindfold you and hold you for ransom because you smoked cigars in your garage?
There was like a reference to that cigars were illegal at this point or something. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
He gets him on a chopper. I did like the moment where he's like, listen, my daughter's in here and I don't want to subject her to graphic violence. And so when you go inside, I want you to say to her, and he just cuts them going, have a nice flight, little girl. Right.
It's pretty funny. I like that part.
That was a good bit.
Gets him on the chopper, and Adam Prime leaves with the family on the chopper. They're gone. That's it, right? Drucker, even though he's half shot and dying, or he's dying and half dead, shoots Wiley and says, don't bring him back.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's
Yep.
Okay. So Rooker starts to drag Michael Drucker down to the lab floor and starts the cloning process.
Rooker and Drucker.
That's right. They don't need a team of scientists. Apparently, Michael Rooker's character knows how to operate all of the machinery
all
in
of
this
it.
lab.
That's not a trope at all.
But Michael Rooker has proven throughout the course of this movie that he literally knows everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a guardian of the galaxy.
Cut to Arnie swimming through the meat sack water and breathing through the tubes.
Now, will this technically be called a soup?
Yeah. Oh, it's soup for sure. There's people
it's
floating.
a liquid. It's meat inside of a liquid.
Soylent Green.
Yeah.
It's soup for sure.
Is it not stew?
Oh.
It's got to have potatoes for stew.
What?
Hit the button.
Is that true?
Why?
Stew. It's a
Because
pun.
Brady says.
It's a pun. Stew.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
This is a big
Can't
responsibility.
have unnecessary button pushing.
No.
Exactly. I just need confirmation on the puns.
It's fine.
What's the residual on it?
When he pulls the freaking tubes out and starts breathing through it, I'm like, good God, don't pull the CO2.
I literally thought the same thing. I'm like, he's blind under this water and he just grabs a tube like, oh God, hope it's not nitrogen.
right?
Like any of it.
You knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like just surface. The surface of the water.
Just surface.
Right,
right there.
Yeah.
Like just so.
But
you just
Talia
stick
was
your
there.
Arnie lips out with.
Was Talia there?
You could still see him through the water, like whether his lips come out to go, you know.
I can hear something. I can hear
I can
breathing.
see you. Right.
Just needed a straw.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. One of them wakes up. These things wake up.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
he jostled
so
against
Talia kicks something into the water.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
And then the thing opens. One of the meat sacks opens.
opens its eyes.
They're sentient. I'm guessing.
Well,
Maybe it's just a reaction. I don't know. Who
They
knows?
are-
That creeped me out, dude.
They it's like they probably have some type of developed nervous system.
Lizard brain.
Yeah. So it's like this primordial
But that
knee-jerk reaction of
she starts to shoot into the water. And
great idea.
It's like
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yep.
Blows out the windows.
Let's
and all
just-
the water starts to go into the lab floor. And then she gets tangled up in the wires and the tubes and she just chokes herself to death. Or you just hanging on her leg.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect time for a one-liner or something there, right?
Yeah.
You would think.
Something.
Hang around.
Hang around.
Yeah.
That's right. Something.
I have a dangler.
That's right. Oh, that was it. I love it when Terry Crews dangles me. That's what it is.
Say it.
Meanwhile,
It's a callback.
Drucker's like all of his DNA information, like
Well, Rooker dies here too.
Rooker dies. Oh, yeah,
'Cause she
Rooker ends
shoots-
up trapped
Yeah.
under like the aftermath of like a seniors swingers party.
Oh God.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. All
Yes.
the
That's what it
all
looked
the
like.
naked meat sacks flood down the hallway and
Yeah.
smash them up against the wall.
This is
Yes.
exactly what happens, when a water main breaks at like a public pool for senior citizens.
They just pile up.
They're just piled up at the end of the hallway. Just all
ridiculous.
tangled. You don't know what's where.
Oh no.
Can I point out that
Yes.
if we're ever in a situation where we're immortal
Yeah.
and we're trying to kill somebody,
Yeah.
let's not shoot up our immortality machine.
That'd be a great idea.
Can we not do that?
Let's not do that.
That's the only way
Let's
any of
agree
us
to
come
that.
back.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to kill him, but he's standing right in front of the immortality machine.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Maybe we should wait for a second.
just let him get out of the water.
Yeah.
And then we'll shoot
Maybe
him.
punch him.
Because it's a tank and he can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It goes nowhere.
He's
So-
trying to swim away aggressively, and you're just like
Just watching.
I'm
Just
right-
waiting for him to
right
come up,
there.
we'll just wait up here.
Yeah.
And then we'll kill him.
I guess you never heard of shooting fish in a barrel.
I guess. I guess not.
Can't shoot Arnie in a barrel.
No, that's why. Anyway, Drucker's loading his DNA information, and all of it. Like each one says like incomplete.
Right.
incomplete.
So like he's laying on the bed
and they got one of the meat sacks coming
and one of the
down.
meat sacks come down, the immortality machine blows up and
Yeah.
now all the clone of Drucker is
like- it's like-
incomplete.
not done cooking
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, right? Like when it comes out.
Yep.
But he still transfers the SIM cording into the thing.
He's like, yeah, because he's sitting there struggling. He's like getting, Tony Goldwyn's going at
Yeah.
it, getting the meat sack out on the bed, and he puts the SIM code in it, SIM code, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. I do like this moment too. Once again.
And the clone wakes up like he's been shot, right? Like,
yeah, he wakes up, oh, and he
like,
just
oh.
sits up and he looks over.
that was you.
Yes.
But he looks like a gooey, almost like the dude in RoboCop.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
The guy that
That's
melts.
what I thought.
Yep.
Exactly.
yeah,
that.
right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Oh, it was you." And he starts to take off the other guy's
I
clothes.
love it. He
That's
starts-
cold-blooded, dude.
He's Tony Drucker, even dying Drucker's like, you're not even gonna wait for me to die first. And he looks at him and says, "Would you?"
Would you? And I love how even though he looked ridiculous,
Yes.
he still was talking like a normal dude, right?
Yeah, he's still at
Yeah.
Tony Goldwyn's voice.
Like he's
yeah.
still just like,
Right.
"Hey man, I gotta get dressed here.
I gotta get dressed. We got stuff to do."
He hasn't for some reason, because in a second he sees himself in the mirror, but he doesn't realize until then when he looks like he can't see his hands, right? Or when he's getting dressed, he doesn't look at his milky wiener.
You know,
Do you know what I'm saying? Right?
he doesn't feel that he doesn't have an ear.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize that he can only.
He can feel that he just got shot, but he can't feel that something's not quite the same.
Yeah.
No.
Something hasn't grown all the way.
Jeez.
You know, all the science of it.
I feel like I'm covered in rhino afterbirth. Right? It's disgusting. Adam walks into the room with Gooey Drucker. And this is where Gooey Drucker, now in a suit, says, hey, you know, you're going to die soon. We worked it into the system. Do you want to go find out of what? Like, I can fix, you know, you want to go up there? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Adam destroys his SIM cording anyway, even though he knows he's got a short life now as a clone, right?
Yep.
He doesn't want that to happen. Destroys. He goes, you can fix this, and he pulls him in front of the freaking mirror.
Yeah.
And this is where he sees himself horrified for the first
crap.
time. Oh my God. And now he's going, I can fix this. I can fix this.
I can fix it all.
Nearly dead Drucker comes up and stabs Arnie in the back, and Arnie tosses him off pretty easily because he's weak and half dead.
Yep.
And then the other, like the gooey one, attacks him, and he knocks him onto himself. This is the callback to the line.
Yep.
This is,
Yeah.
Part B to the joke.
when I told you to go screw yourself, I didn't mean to take it literally.
Yep.
Right.
Great.
Great.
Just awesome.
But you think the bad guy's done, but he's not. Because like Arnie leaves to go to the rooftop. He gets in a rooftop shootout.
I was just going to say, now we get like a full-on gunfight
Right.
out of nowhere.
But gooey guy gets up and joins that gunfight too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
He's, like, standing
and
up on
Prime,
the roof.
Very
Prime
active
Adam
for a goo man.
for Goo Man.
Right? Newborn goo man.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then Adam Prime swoops in because he told his kids, I got to go help a friend.
Yep.
Swoops in with the remote control freaking whispercraft. Right?
You can't get over goo man, can you?
Well, I want to call him. I want to call him something else, but it's inappropriate. But I just want to call him ejaculate man.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
quite
see that.
roll off the tongue. I mean, it's accurate.
He's
It's
accurate.
accurate for sure.
Maybe skeet rag man.
Oh gosh, that's even worse. No,
That's what it looked like when he put a suit on.
it was. It did.
Just crusty.
Crusty and full of blood.
Just like a giant testicle. Adam
Whisper.
swoops in to save the other Adam.
Whisper.
And he uses the remote and he tries to take the whispercraft to chop up Gooey Drucker.
Yeah.
And Gooey Drucker jumps out of the way onto a glass window.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I stuck that landing. Boom. Check me. Oh, wait a minute.
Wile E. Coyote, like the glass breaks and he still stays there for a half second
Yeah.
before he falls.
Yeah.
And chin first into the ground like a potato sack.
Just folds him in half.
I love that
Yep.
impact.
Okay.
Dude. No, probably not now because the freaking explosive goes off finally.
Yeah.
And as the two Adams are jumping onto the ladder of the whispercraft.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And now they're trying to get into the cockpit because it's going straight for, because the thing got shot. The remote got shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they got to get to the cockpit to avoid this building, and that whole sequence was kind of wonky.
Yeah.
Like they flew
Didn't
up,
really work.
but then it didn't. It stalled, and they came back, and then he hit the jets, and they flew at it again and up, and I was like,
Yeah.
just avoid the building,
He turned it from the chopper. He turned it from the chopper into the whispercraft.
but just do that the first time because having it come back and go again was weird. I felt like to that moment.
But it has to hover.
It didn't feel realistic.
Not
either.
at all. Not
At all.
That was the unrealistic part of
I
it.
was about, I kind of looked over at you going,
I deserve that.
And you know, that's basically the end of the movie. We do end up though. This scene broke my heart, you guys.
Oh, boy.
When he's going to go to Argentina and run a second branch of their business.
Charter X,
Argentina,
yeah.
right?
Patagonia.
Because they did a DNA scan and it's clear he's clean.
Of course, he's the
For some
one,
reason.
for whatever reason, he has
Because
no
it's-
congenital defects.
Because it's Arnie's DNA. And
Yep.
they-
His DNA literally
its
just
ass.
swallowed.
Chuck Norris is a joke here.
It swallowed the other
Right.
defect.
He gave him a defect. That's why he looked milky.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's what happened.
they switched the
They
defense.
switched it.
Yeah.
He switched it. It was on
Transferred
out
all the
here while they
defects.
were safe in there. Yeah. But he lets him say goodbye to the family, but the family doesn't know they're saying goodbye to him. He just goes in and hugs his daughter and his wife.
At no point in time did the family know that there was two.
No.
No, they never knew.
No.
That's really, I didn't realize that. too late.
All the things that Joe realized
That one,
And
I'm just saying
that the family never knew.
The wife and the daughter
Never
were
found out.
none the wiser.
No.
You'd think, though, even I wonder what the cover story was.
Yeah.
Because after they get back and, it's like, no, it wasn't about the cigars. Well, then what was it about?
Yeah, we never figure out how he sold it to the wife.
He dodges that.
Well, it's just we just play pranks with this group of guys, and we steal each other's families back and forth.
Fools.
So I got to steal his family
So
next.
who's the friend? Who's the friend you were talking about?
Yeah.
It's not Hank because he's clearly dead.
No,
Yeah.
no. It's
Uncle
Hank's dead.
Uncle Hank's dead.
it's just the guy we do airplane pranks with. That's all.
yeah.
Yeah, the Argentinian
The
guy.
Argentinian guy we do airplane pranks with. This is my friend. He looks just like me, but he's Argentinian.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm from Argentina.
Argentinian Arnold.
That's right. But yeah, so he hugs his daughter and then hugs his wife, and it's the last time. Think about that. If you've lived your whole life to him, he's lived his whole life with these people, and that's his daughter and his wife, who he loves very much, and he'll never get to see them again, and has to now say goodbye to them and go live a life alone. It's like for him, he's just on the spot, cold turkey, breaking up with his entire family.
Sure.
And the other guy gets to continue to live with them. That's weird.
It's almost as if the filmmakers could have taken the gravity of that moment and actually made some endearing ending about it.
I thought they just included that scene they did personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it worked for me.
Well, that's
I
good.
just,
I'm glad it worked for you.
I wanted to get the scene.
I was ready for the movie to be over by that scene.
I just wanted to get the scene where now the wife has two husbands, two Arnolds.
I was like,
and she's like, I got two cigars. Yeah.
I did wonder what the parameters of the go say goodbye to the wife and family were. If there were any parameters set beforehand, like
Second Adam just walks out of the house and just like zips up his pants.
what kind of goodbye do I get?
Right.
You know, he didn't say.
You didn't say.
He just said, go say goodbye. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
How much time do I got?
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Perfect. Anyway, Simpal Cindy, keep Carla company for 20 minutes.
Meg.
That's right. It's good stuff. Well, that's the end of the movie, guys.
Oh, thank goodness. By the way, I seen that coming. The end of the
was
movie.
the end. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I seen the ending coming. Yeah. I knew it was going to happen.
I never do.
Really?
Yeah.
Usually when I know there's going to be an ending the moment it starts.
Wow.
It's always a surprise to me.
Well, we got to do something here, guys, and that is we have to make the movie better, if that were in any way possible.
How are we going to do it this time, James?
We have to see. Yeah. Oh, do you have an idea?
Please finish your lead in.
Yeah. So the lead in is simply, would Arnold Schwarzenegger make this movie better?
Yeah. Now that's our bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. And so this movie is no different. As they've proven that there can be two Schwarzeneggers in a movie and make it better. Where can we put a third Arnold in this movie to make it better? And I think they absolutely could have done it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they cloned Arnie? What if Arnie cloned himself as part of the plan to get back his family and snuck in there and cloned himself while the other one was playing possum in the office, getting his ass kicked, getting the SIM card on? Arnie Prime makes Arnold 3, and then you got 3 Arnolds that you're dealing with.
Didn't Tom Hanks make this movie?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Yeah. It's all Michael Keaton, not Tom Hanks. Sorry.
Yes. There was
Didn't see that one coming.
How many of them were there in that movie though? Like 7?
There was a lot.
There gets to be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot. But I think you get the third one, he's like, oh my God, hello, I'm over here. No, I'm over here. And
the 3 Arnolds are doing
Arnolds, and they're doing the pointing at each other like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right?
But then Drucker clones Adam to fight himself and makes like Weapon X.
Weapon X Arnold.
Weapon X Arnie.
That's even better than my idea.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's interesting, Adam. You're the clone. You're not. That's the real Adam. But there's also this Adam.
But
and then
now
he
there's
opens
this
the
Adam.
door, and he comes out, and he's like, I'm here to kill you. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They could have done Deadpool versus Wolverine in 1999.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or they could have Arnold as the robotic girl.
You know what?
Put him in a dress. Just be like, I'm going to be your friend.
I taped all your sports games for you.
Oh, that! Oh my!
Would you
Even
like to watch
better.
them
Yes.
together?
The virtual reality girlfriend.
You're thinking Arnold as Sim Pal Cindy?
Yeah, Simbel Cindy.
Yeah. It would have looked better.
Would you to be my friend? Yeah, so let's see what the patrons tend to say. Marco goes, wasn't totally sure how to do Arnold makes this better as he's already in the film playing a character and its clone. So maybe the company clones him a third time and reprograms it to be the head of the assassins. Ooh, the better. Nice job, Marco. Tim Bertholf says, look, 2 Arnolds are awesome. So I asked myself, how will the third one make this movie better? The third one could take Michael Rappaport's role and be a twin brother. But that would end up being 4 Arnolds. Now that would be great. 4 Arnolds running around in this movie.
But they're twins?
But they're twins.
Oh.
And there's twins and the clones are twins.
Twins. Oh, yeah.
Then Danny DeVito shows up.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito shows
He's
up.
the not finished clone that he puts his stuff into at the end.
DeVito's the unfinished clone.
Yeah.
He's like the dregs, right? Remember that whole thing.
Wow.
That'd be fun.
Ruben Tieman's plan says, it's been said a time or two that Arnie makes every movie better. Well, how do you make a movie better when he's already in it? Add another Arnold. Arnold has great on-screen chemistry with himself. And the movie was better for having both of them. So, yeah, everyone's saying here, just add a third one.
Just add a third Arnold.
Point. Bill Gerson says, seeing as this is a movie about clones that I wanted to see, is them lean more into Arnold clones. You cannot honestly tell me that it would not have been awesome if in the final act Arnold used to sync data to create a bunch of clones of himself, like an army to take down Drucker.
Oh my gosh!
Why not have 10?
Yeah.
Right?
Why not? And then
they have that factory, that assembly line just spitting Arnolds out.
Weird. It's almost like that's in a different movie.
And then finally, Gabriel H. playing along says, since he's in here, I don't know how to handle this award. The only thing I can think of is go the multiplicity route and have him like another one eating pizza in the background. Right? Could do that. Arnie's just
Pizza
like,
Arnie.
it's like the dumb, like just drooling one.
Yep.
It's funny that none of us have access to like the patron responses, and yet we all come up with like this.
Right. And 95% of the time, I'm not even reading them until I get in here anyway.
Well,
so,
Man.
I knew it was coming.
yeah.
Did you?
Joe knew.
Joe, yes.
Joe.
Yep.
You can't fool Joe.
Can't, no matter how hard we try. Let's start giving this some awards, guys. And we're going to start with the most
Absolutely.
prestigious award we give out. It's the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
They remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Yeah.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
It's my favorite line.
In cinematic history.
Or just out of that montage.
Yeah, out of that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Gotcha. All right. So we'll kick this off here with Gabriel. And he says, Sarah Winter as Talia, she was intense with almost every line and definitely seemed to be giving it her all in terms of being, menacing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's our first vote for Sarah Winter.
Good for her.
Who you got for me, Ryan?
I am all in on Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has some stupid material to work with too.
Yeah.
Because he's got us like every time, like we said throughout the podcast, that every time there's a dead body, he's like, oh no, they're fine. Like, but every single time he sells it.
Yes.
I think, and when he gets his foot blown off, and he's just like standing there screaming, you can feel his pain. That's one of the most memorable scenes for me in the movie is when he gets his foot blown off.
Yes.
So, all in, Michael Rooker,
Awesome.
Will Patton.
Fair enough. Bill Gerson says, I almost gave this to Robert Duvall because of his performance. Really classed the movie up. But this one has to go to Arnold for playing 2 characters phenomenally well. Yes, they were technically the same character, but it still counts. To me, this is his most impressive performance. No, I'm not just saying that because I have feared for my life ever since I had the audacity to say that Arnold is afraid of Chuck Norris. Yeah, Bill, I'll never forget when you said that.
Oh my gosh.
Never forget. But that's a vote. So we got 3 votes and 3 people in. No repeats yet. Brady, who you got for the Will Patton Award?
So I had a hard time picking anybody for any of these awards. I'll just say a lot of things are just middle of the road.
Yeah.
I ultimately went with Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay.
Ruben Tiemann says, I went into this movie wanting to go with Michael Rooker, if for nothing else because of his pained and raging scream of, you're going to pay those are brand new boots.
Look at that.
Yeah, good stuff. That was good.
After having his foot shot off, but the Will Patton Award is reserved for the actor who acts as though this is the most important movie that's ever been made. And so it leaves one choice. Yeah. Not a single line this actor delivered felt forced or contrived. I felt like I was watching a real person when he was on screen, which is a good actor's first and only job, to convince me. And convince me he did. That's why my Will Patton goes to Robert Duvall as Dr. Richard.
Yeah, not bad.
Or Dr. Griffin.
Dr. Griffin Weir.
So that's 2 for Rooker.
And 2 for Duvall.
2 for Duvall. Right? I think.
Is it?
Yeah, right.
There was the
it was Talia, Arnold, and Duvall. So all 3 of the patrons have gone different directions.
Oh,
so
okay.
2 for Rooker. All those other people have 1 vote each.
2 for Rooker.
But it's still anybody's game at this point.
Yeah.
Joe?
Well, I'm torn, but I'm going to plant my flag because that's what we do.
That's right.
That's our burden.
Man, I knew you were going to do that.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's almost like you predicted it.
I am going to go with the man who really classed up the joint, Mr. Robert Duvall.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Now, I did like Michael. I really did like him, but I have to give the acting intensity.
Yeah.
I mean, his wife just sucked him dry with her consistent just.
Oh, please finish
whining.
that sentence. Okay.
Ugh. But
I got
he
you.
brought it around. So I'm going with him.
All right. That's a tie right now then between Rooker and Duvall as Tim Bertholf comes in and says, Michael Rooker. Ooh. He's intense in everything he does. Tim keeping it short and sweet. So Rooker takes the lead here. And Marco says, gotta be Arnold. For me, the guy always brings it. It's not his most intense performance ever, but hey, it's Arnold. So it's 2 for Arnold, 2 for Duvall, 3 for Rooker. And I actually went Michael Rooker in this.
Wow.
So that's gonna seal.
That's gonna put him over the edge.
That is a good choice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything bad about that.
So congratulations to Mike Rooker.
Yep.
Well deserved. Wins the Will Patton Award. And I want to do this. I want to do this very briefly because we're already well into this, but I want to say this because I told a story a couple episodes ago about a bad experience meeting Freddie Prinze Jr. when we did I Know What You Did last summer. I have also met Michael Rooker once in a formal setting like a con and once just in public, and the dude could not have been a cooler, nicer
That's awesome.
guy.
Where in public?
So at a con, but like outside of the con, like we were just walking along.
Nice.
And so was he, and he came up next to me and Bob. I've never told you this story.
I think I heard it from Bob.
And we were literally walking, and Rooker just walks up and he's like, "What's up, guys? You having a good time?" Just like, and I turned.
Oh my gosh.
And it's now the 3 of us. Now it's the 3 of us walking.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
And Bob, like he always does, nothing.
Deer in the headlights.
Doesn't stick his hand up, doesn't do anything. So I reach around Bob because he's next to Bob and I'm on the other side of Bob. I reach around and stick my hand. I'd be like, Mike, what's up, dude? We love you. You're out. And then he shook my hand.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Bob just literally stood there like as we're walking. But like he didn't have to stop and say anything to us.
No.
And he's just walking around trying to get to wherever he's going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
He just thought they would make your day.
he's just a cool dude. Right?
That's awesome, though.
And that was after Guardians had come out and stuff. And so he was much more well known than he was when he was doing these kind of bit parts. I love these parts and Tombstone and 6 Day and Cliffhanger.
The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead and all that stuff.
If anyone's ever
You owe me
seen
another Coke.
if anyone's ever seen Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
There you go. So always will be a big Mike Rooker fan. That's not why I gave it to him. He deserved it. But yeah, he's just a great dude all around. Someone who's not a great dude, Steven Seagal. We've named the Crappy Actor Award after him. The one who we give this to the person in the movie that had the range in this movie of a trash can full of dirt. It's the Steven Seagal Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
Guys, we're going to need a bigger trash can. I had at least 3 or 4 people send me a picture that came out this week of Seagal, who's out in the field helping the Russian army. They got him.
Are you serious?
Like in a blown up building, sitting on a chair or whatever, in military gear. And the dude looks bigger than he's ever looked in his entire life. Like, we need a trash can dumpster and not a garbage can anymore. 4 different listeners emailed me, go, look how big he's gotten. Brand new photograph of Steven Seagal. Not looking good.
I got to pull that up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll find it.
So Andy's out there helping Russians. Okay. Anyway, trash can full of dirt.
Yes.
Start with Marco, who says, found this difficult, but if I've got to plant my flag, I'm going to go Tony Goldwyn as Michael Drucker. His performance just didn't do it for me. Felt in sections he was just going through the motions. Wow. Marco, not a fan of Tony's performance as Drucker in this. Ryan?
So, interestingly enough, as much as I like Tony Goldwyn, in this particular movie, I didn't really feel him as the villain.
Wow.
But I don't think I can give it to him.
Okay.
Because there are like little moments, like I said, when he's talking about God created man. Like that moment was great. I think his little manner, like actually when he's getting his clone out of the thing, his struggle is real.
Right.
I felt that. I was like, man, dude just got his gut blown out and he's trying to clone himself. He's the only person here. I felt that for him.
Yeah.
And that last moment when he's like, you're not even going to wait till I die. And he's like, would you? Like, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what?
Looks like he just came out.
Going into the movie, I was about to give it to Tony Goldwyn. And then by the ending, I was like, I can't give it to him. I think I just got to give it to like the dude that played Wiley. Like, I get that he's a stupid henchman.
Yeah.
But his opening line, he's like, "Oh, car chase, cool." Like,
pretty accurate.
I mean, it is though.
Yeah.
And then everything's like, "Ah, man, I just got this pain in my chest," and they're like,
neck hurts.
"Ah, my neck hurts," and even like the "Don't you people stay dead" or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the line with him? And
you're dead. No, you're dead.
No, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm gonna give it to Rod Rowland.
All right.
And
valid, I think.
Just didn't do it for me.
Okay. Yeah, totally valid there, brother. Tim Bertholf says, look, Taylor Reed, a.k.a. Clara Gibson, the daughter. I know she was just a kid, but damn, she was hard to believe in every scene she was in.
Bob approved.
Bob approved vote right there. So we got, again, 3 votes in for 3 different people. So this is shaking out to be a widespread here. Brady, who you got?
This one was the hardest one for me because
no one did really bad.
Nobody's terrible in this movie.
No.
Nobody's great in this movie.
I agree.
But yeah, nobody's terrible. I thought about Terry Crews for a second, but I'm just like, it's his first movie.
Right.
I'll give him a pass because it's Terry Crews.
Right.
I think I am going to go with Wiley.
Okay.
Because he's replaceable.
Yeah.
Honestly, most of the henchmen are. Rooker is not, obviously, but it's cookie cutter and it was boring. It wasn't a very good performance.
I got you, brother.
Like, he's meant to be like this loose cannon.
It's got to go to
like
somebody.
It's like a reckless. He's supposed to be a reckless villain. He doesn't really come off as that ever.
And Ruben Tiemens comes in and says Rodney Rowland as Wiley.
Wow.
How can you make the world's most useless trigger-happy henchman with A-Team aim even worse? Cast an alleged actor who can't even convincingly play the part of what amounts to little more than a frat boy with a trigger finger. An actual trash can filled to the brim with dirt would have been more engaging, a lot more memorable, and would have also made a more productive henchman. Less friendly fire that way. The only good thing he did in the entire movie was blow that terrifying doll's head off. Dang, Ruben.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's 3 votes for...
Rod Rowland.
Rod Rowland, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Joe?
Oh, boy. You guys are going to just hate this one. I'm going with Wanda Cannon. Catherine Weir.
Oh, you jerk.
The old lady.
You heartless jerk.
You're going with Dr. Weir's wife?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Yeah.
Water my flowers for me.
She overplayed that role so hard. Oh my gosh. Talk about overacting. She had almost, I can't say complete, but she had almost Seagal level of overacting and how just dramatized she was. No.
And how
It's
stupid is
true,
she that
though.
she didn't see it coming? Right?
She should have seen her own cystic fibrosis.
Come on.
Ridiculous.
I'm planting my flag there.
Plant it, man.
Oof.
Nobody can tell me otherwise.
Because Bill Gerson went Colin Cunningham as Trip.
What?
Some say
wow.
Some might say it's Sim Pal Cindy, but I say that it's him. It's never good when a character dies and you care nothing for him. I put that squarely on Colin. I was more upset with when Sim Pal Cindy died than him. At least the scenes with her were funny. Dang, Bill.
Oof.
No,
Ouch.
Nothing spared
It's not
there.
wrong though.
Yeah.
Look, I went with Steve Backick as Johnny Phoenix.
As Johnny Phoenix.
He
Okay.
sucked.
Yeah.
He was forgettable.
I know.
Sucked. He had, first of all, didn't even convincingly look like a football player.
No.
Then the one scene at the party where he's like, I'd say I felt like $1 million, but I don't want to take a pay cut.
Yes.
I'm
I was just going to say. Yep.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible line delivery. Awful. And I struggle with this too because I didn't think anybody was really that bad, but he was terrible. And then once I remembered him, I went, oh, yeah, that guy.
Oh, that guy?
Steve Backick.
Who's
All day. Said one line.
who has 90 seconds of screen time?
Right. The worst.
And half of it he's playing a dead person?
That's right. Exactly. Gabriel wrapped this up and he says, Sin Pal Cindy. She was so wooden. No, seriously.
Do I give him one for that?
Sure, give him
so, yeah.
Rack him up. He goes, seriously, Wendy Crewson. She seems so insincere no matter if she was trying to be the loving wife or the mom. The Wendy catches a stray there, but that means that Rod Rowland, is that what his
Rod
name?
Rowland.
Rowland is going to win the Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Who did you vote for again?
Steve Backick, the Johnny Phoenix.
He didn't. He played a vegetable.
He did. He did. Only because he couldn't
not
see
a
the
trash
linebacker
can.
because of the pop-up ads.
Yep. He didn't play a trash can, but he did play a vegetable.
No, and I throw vegetables away, so that makes sense.
Exactly.
And you throw it.
Perfect. The next award we give out is to somebody that wasn't in a leading role, that maybe had smaller amounts of screen time, but still, even in that time, made the movie better for being in it. It's the Steve James Unsung Hero Award.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right? Then there are those few who are. Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
That's right. Steve James made every movie he was in, even though he was often not the lead, better just because Steve James was in it. Who was that person in this movie? Gabriel says Robert Duvall. He's one of the best actors of his generation, and he was good in this role. He was convincing, gave the role sympathy. If he's too much of a main actor, then I'll say the Repet salesman. No, I think Robert Duvall only had 4 scenes, so I think he's absolutely eligible there, Gabriel. Ryan, who are you thinking?
100% agree. Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
Love it. Like, he is the 3 scenes, the 3 useless scenes that he has becomes completely eclipsed in that final scene that he has. Right. And it's the mannerisms that he can portray when he's at that level of intensity. That is freaking acting. Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Well said, man. Bill Gerson says Rodney Rowland as Wiley. Yeah, he was basically a joke character that only served the purpose of dying over and over for laughs. But he's like the Kenny in South Park. I laughed so hard every time.
That would have been funny, though.
Oh, they killed Wiley.
Or Wile E. Coyote.
I wanted to see it keep going for longer.
Oh,
wait a minute.
Wow.
That's how
Trifecta on the names. Nicely done, sir.
Hat trick.
I hope he was not in it too much to qualify. Everyone's always worried that they're in it too much to qualify. If it's just, a minor role, you're good, guys. But that's a vote for Rowland there. And we're going over to Brady. Who you got?
This is the only one that was easy.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall, no notes.
No notes. Yeah, fair enough.
Just see Robert Duvall.
Ruben Tiemann says Terry Crews as Vincent. I don't expect this to be everybody's choice. And Ruben, you were right about that. But I wished he was in the movie more. He steals the show. The way he calmly threatens Adam's wife and daughter as they abduct them from school was damn convincing. And he made an impression on me that lasted all the way until he starred in those hilarious Old Spice commercials. I love it. If the Will Patton Award still had its old criteria from the early days of BMR, he would have been my choice. He deserved the screen time that Wiley got. I don't even remember what the old criteria was. But no matter, because we're moving over to Joe.
First of all, I want to apologize to the BMR fans. I completely forgot to mention my Trash Can Full of Dirt Award winner actually went to Hulk Hogan with Santa with Muscles.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. I got distracted.
What an oversight.
I didn't see it coming. And I forgot to name him. I'm sure like tens of people are disappointed.
Tens of people throughout America.
Tens.
And abroad.
Like
one person.
Maybe 11.
Yeah.
4 fans of mine are like just ticked off.
Somebody in the Philippines is pissed.
One guy. Is that a Jollibee right now?
Yeah, just cursing.
That's right.
Cursing the wins.
If you nailed that, that's gonna be hilarious. I'll get an email from somebody.
Yeah.
Great. Go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, my unsung hero, I think I'm gonna go with Jennifer Garis.
Who was she?
She was a virtual girlfriend.
Okay.
Wow.
I enjoyed her little bit role. I thought her little comic relief at the end. I just,
She had to do a lot for that role.
unsung hero.
Bob.
Yeah.
Unsung hero.
She definitely was better than Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Did you see
an
the behind the
unsung
scenes?
hero.
Look, I think 2 years later, she's still up in that apartment talking to his dead body. I think they should have cut back to her after the movie was over and been like, Hank, are we going to get it on or what? And she's, talking to the
If I had
dead
a
body
choice
on the floor.
to look at
Right? After the credits?
Yeah.
Right.
Why was the post-credit scene of her still talking to his dead body? They never go back to it.
If I had a choice to stare at a picture of Jennifer or Robert Duvall,
Sure.
Is
I'm
that the criteria?
picking Jennifer.
Well, she's
That's his
maybe the Cheryl
criteria.
and Fenn award winner, but
we're not. I didn't know if we're doing one.
we're not. That's fine.
So
But what was the behind the scenes, real quick?
Oh, no, that it was literally like someone that they casted.
Yeah.
And they had to do her entire role on green screen. But once again, this was kind of before that was a thing.
Right.
And they were talking about how like they filmed it through like different like water filters and stuff.
okay.
And
had to get
it
that
was
weird thing.
yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was. But then they had to integrate it, and
Right.
this was all even before like mocap and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Very
yeah.
cool. All right. Tim Birdhoff says, look, it's going to Robert Duvall. He's one of my favorites, and I always forget he's in this movie. So every time I watch it, it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot Robert Duvall's in this movie. So, guys, I also went Robert Duvall. Not that the virtual slut wasn't
seen that
fun,
coming.
but like, it's Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chewing the scenery.
Mark.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb he's in the movie
Yeah.
to basically just be an expo dumper and then have one scene, but the fact that he is in there, he makes the movie, I think, better.
He does.
Mortgage payments,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly.
And finally, Marco says, I like Michael Rappaport in this. Had a decent back and forth with Arnold, but I've got to go with Sarah Winter as the assassin. This is Talia. Thought she was great. I'd have happily had her as the head of the assassins over Michael Rooker. All right, pump the brakes there, Marco.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes there,
I
buddy.
have to
don't know about
disagree with
that
you on
one.
that one.
But there's plenty of votes for Robert Duvall is going to win the Unsung Hero Award. Congrats, Robert. Very nice. Guys, it's been a while because of the movies we've been covering, but we got to dust off the climbing gear here
Oh my gosh, the
and
mountain.
take a little trip up BMR Mountain so we can look at what would be the Mount Rushmore. What would be the top 4 films out of the ones, or rather his performances in those films? That's the important key, not the film itself. And we've done 8 Arnie movies up to this point on the show. And here's the 8.
Wow.
And so we don't have a ton of time to devote this, but we can do this quickly. Don't perseverate over it too much. But we've got Conan the Destroyer, Jingle All the Way, Last Action Hero, Batman and Robin, The Last Stand, Red Sonja, The Villain, and now The Sixth Day. And so out of those 4, what 4 would you pull as his top 4 performances? Again, not overall the movie. So
Top
for
4
me,
performances.
yes, I'm going to say Jack Slater for sure in Last Action Hero.
Yep. I'll agree. Yep.
I am definitely going to go Last Stand as well. And I'm going to say Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin because it was hilarious. And Conan. I mean, he plays Conan.
Okay,
as
I'll do
Arnold.
Conan.
Yeah.
I'll agree to Conan.
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mr. Freeze one, I'm kind of on the fence about.
I think it's easy to leave The Villain and Red Sonja off,
Yes, 100%.
right?
Personally, I think the Sixth Day should be kind of low on this.
As far as his performance, that's why I didn't put it in there.
Yeah, I don't think he's making the mountain on this one.
No,
or he's doing. Yeah, it's like throwing anybody else off. I think it stays in the bottom.
Yeah. We could even discuss did this need to be an Arnold movie?
No. Well, it wasn't originally. Who was it made for? Do we know?
Kevin Costner was.
It going to be a Costner vehicle?
Well, Kevin Costner was originally offered the role,
right?
But who knows? I mean, it wasn't a vehicle.
But back in the day, there used to be Arnold vehicles, right? Or even if it was made like Christopher Reeve was going to be Running Man, and then once it wasn't Reeve anymore, they rewrote the whole script to make sense for Arnold because Reeves was an everyman.
Exactly.
Arnie's a superhero, right? So they had to change and put the one-liners in. So this wasn't an Arnie vehicle. It wasn't written to be one, but he got the part. They just didn't do to the script what they used to do when Arnold got cast in something.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
They should have.
They should have. 100% they should have.
Yeah.
And maybe, for sure. But okay, so if we're at least collectively agreeing the Sixth Day doesn't, do you agree the Sixth Day doesn't belong?
I do not. I do not.
The Villain in Red Sonja.
Yep.
Then is Jingle All the Way the fourth one?
Yes.
We're dropping off that list.
Yes.
I like his performance in that.
Yes.
But not over like Conan, Jack Slater, Mr. Freeze.
No, but that's.
I would say maybe Mr. Freeze.
I would say, well, I don't know.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
That's what I like. Yeah, like I would throw. I'd throw Batman and Robin on there. Mr. Freeze, definitely Jack Slater. That's the no-brainer.
Is Conan the one you're going back and forth?
Well, see, I don't. Like I said, I haven't seen Conan in a long time. Like before I could comprehend movies, I have.
The first one is legitimately incredible.
Yes,
I
you were
rewatched
saying
it.
that.
Oh my
you were
gosh.
saying that.
I rewatched it recently.
It's
I was
fantastic.
like, holy crap, is this a good movie?
Yeah, I don't think I've watched the original Conan since like 1995.
Bro, time to get back on.
Yeah,
Bro.
All right.
Bro.
Well, guys, it's time to render our final verdicts. And we have to come to a conclusion here objectively and subjectively as to whether or not this is a good or bad movie, and then how we felt about it from a subjective standpoint, right? Because art is judgeable objectively to the ability that we can remain objective, but we'll see if we're able to do that here today. And we'll start things off with Marco, who says, this is a bad movie that rules. I had a lot of fun watching this the first time. Plenty of action, some one-liners. I burst out laughing at the XFL being in this, having watched the ESPN documentary on the XFL killing and cloning a football player. In this would have been done if possible by Vince McMahon. Sorry, I butchered
100%.
that. And Arnold's Cadillac is incredible. It takes more damage than anything in this film and keeps on going. I need one. So that's Marco says bad movie that rules. Farrell, you have the floor.
this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because this is a very mediocre movie in action, in performances. As Brady said, every performance is very middle of the road. It's not a good Arnie movie. It's not a good Arnie vehicle. There's some little glimpses of nice things, nice performances. The one thing that does is like the production design, I think is great. I love the meat sack tank. I think it looks,
that was a beautiful,
I love it.
That was a beautiful
And it's
set.
physically there.
And it's physically there.
That was a beautiful
But
set.
even, and like the sets look great, but then how the visual effects integrated into the movie too, like you watch like when he walks into the mall and they have like the hologram ceiling and all that other stuff. Like he just walks into a mall, but they look nice. So like visually, it looks great. Production design is great. Cinematography is great. The editing sucks. This has such a weird, abrasive feel to it. Like those transition moments where the music is just like...
And that weird like panel phasing thing.
Yeah, and the panel phasing stuff. Like that really like throws a wrench in the pacing for me. Yeah. So like, is it a bad
product
movie?
of its time, though. I mean, Ghost of Mars was coming out around the same time, and there was a lot of weird nonsense with that too.
You're right. But
I'm just saying.
But like Ghost of Mars speaks to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love watching Ghost of Mars. I know how terrible it is.
I just want to throw that out there because
oh, don't worry. I know how terrible it is. You want to know what else came out when the Sixth Day came out?
What?
Red Planet.
Yeah.
Came out the week before the Sixth Day came out. Yeah. And
the
like
Val Kilmer one?
Yeah, the Val Kilmer, Tom Sizemore Mars movie.
Jeez.
Like, I'd rather watch Red Planet than the Sixth Day.
So where do you land?
So it's a bad movie that it rules.
Okay.
It rules.
So personally, subjectively, you enjoy it.
Subjectively, I enjoyed. I've always had fun watching this movie.
All right.
Had fun when I saw it, back in 2000. Had fun watching it last night. It's a bad movie, but yeah, I guess it rules.
Tim. This movie is one of those that when someone asks me what it's about, I can't really remember till it gets going. However, I always remember I like it. The story's pretty good. The only thing I can't take that seriously is that someone is making $300 million playing the XFL. Other than that, is this a bad movie that rules? No, this is a good movie straight up.
Wow.
From Tim.
Hey, right. Timothy.
All right.
Well,
Brady, you have the floor.
Yeah. So, would I call this a good movie? Never. Is it a bad movie? I wouldn't call it that, but since we only have 3 things I can choose, I will go with bad movie that rules. I would watch this again.
Okay.
Yeah.
But objectively, it doesn't work as a film.
There's so many things that are wrong with this movie.
I get you.
If I could improve one thing, the guy's name is Speaker Day. They could have at least alluded to that maybe that there was going to be a plot twist.
Yeah.
Or they could have done the plot twist and had it been like he's the 6th clone and he comes out and
just could have been
mega speaker of the house.
Why name him that otherwise?
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Ruben gives a shout out to Thomas to Trevor Rabin for the musical score. He collected film scores, I guess, when he was a teenager.
So did I.
What a cool guy. And he says all the themes and leitmotifs, I don't know, I'm not good at this stuff, are memorable and feel alive as opposed to the soulless, low-effort music in most movies today. So, good shout-out to the score.
Yeah.
And the music, when it's actually music, is very good.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
There's 2 very great moments of music in this movie.
Yeah.
But that transitional crap of the that drives me nuts.
Ultimately, here's what Ruben says. The movie has some outstanding moments that I found genuinely moving. Clone Adam tucking his daughter in, hugging her one last time. Despite being known mostly as an action star, Arnold is every bit as convincing as a family man, because he is one. The interaction between Dr. Griffin and his wife also stood out. I'm probably a softie, but the scene where she was on her deathbed asking her to water the flowers left my eyes feeling a little damp. Maybe I was just naive as a kid, but the revelation that Adam is a clone completely blindsided me and left me questioning everything I'd seen up to that point. Having said all that, movie has problems. It's noticeably wanting for its lack of Arnold one-liners. I counted 2, but that's not nearly enough for a ride like this. There were logical problems as well, like how the hell did the security guard at the entrance not find it odd that Adam's face didn't match Talia's picture when he used her thumbprint in the entrance?
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh yeah, I thought that too.
Maybe another director or a revised script would have gotten it right. This is almost a straight-up good movie, but it just barely didn't make it. End of day, this is a bad movie that absolutely rules for me. Thanks for having me on, Ruben Tiemens. Ruben, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. So all BMRs, I think, well, one good movie straight up so far from a page, but otherwise. Joe, you have the floor, sir.
What can I say about this movie? I, like you gentlemen have partaked in this movie at a younger age. Maybe it hit you different at the time. I feel like I am, I've seen too many damn movies. I'm getting overly critical. I'm picking out stuff. I had a really, really hard time pulling myself away from looking at this thing. So I'm going to say it is not a bad movie. I'm going to say it is a piece of garbage movie.
Oh, gee.
Wait. Oh. So a garbage movie that rules. Because
I saw that coming.
Because it has Arnold in it. And I cannot, in any good conscience, give Arnold a bad rating. So I think I'm... What?
No, I'm just listening.
No. You're...
Absolute garbage movie.
Yeah, I think it's
that rules.
Bad. Yeah, that rules.
Well, you should
because
say,
it has Arnold in it.
You know, garbage movie that's pretty
Cop
awesome.
is an absolute garbage movie that rules.
Yeah. I liked Samurai Cop better than this. Wow. I enjoyed that movie better.
Wow.
But objectively, as a film, like the objective part, you're calling it a piece of garbage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The entertainment value was just high enough because of Arnold. He tipped the scales. The yoke tipped the scales, and now it's a real movie.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what Bill Gerson had to say. Saw this movie in 2001 on VHS and remember very little, except that I thought it was boring. And the plot twist, the main character was actually a clone. That one I wish I forgot come 23 years later. 23 years later, I am blown away that I could ever have thought it was boring. I didn't expect thought-provoking from most Arnold flicks, but this movie did that very well with the talk of whether it's ethical to clone or not, what it really means to be human, and the importance of learning to let your loved ones go. I was shocked this movie even moved me to tears at one point.
Wow.
What?
At the same time, you have some great action scenes and some great one-liners. The whole "go screw yourself" line of Drucker and the payoff in the end was pure gold. One of Arnold's best lines. Tony Goldwyn as Drucker, also great as the guy with the God complex that you really wanted to see fall. And he did, literally. The only real negative I can think of is that it makes no sense to me that they would not have known that Adam looked like, that they would not have known what Adam looked like to know that Hank was not him taking him on the helicopter flight. This has nagged me ever since I watched the movie. But in spite of that negative, I'm not going to give it anything less than a good movie that rules.
Wow.
I will no doubt watching again. It baffles me the movie is rated as low as it is. The only reason I can think of why that is because people did not want a thought-provoking Arnold movie. Thanks for letting me do awards on this one, James. Bill, thank you, brother.
Oh, boy.
Thank you. And lastly here, before I get to mine, I'll say Gabriel kept it short. Said, while the acting has some technical issues, they hinder it. Overall, it's a good thriller. That is some thought-provoking, philosophical, and ethical questions. And because of that, I think it's a legit good sci-fi movie from Gabriel.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, guys.
I'm losing my faith in
Enough of this bull crap. Okay?
All right.
What the hell is wrong with all of you guys? This movie is awesome. It's got freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger, phaser guns, car chases. He's Peter Panning off of cliffs like he's in The Fugitive. He's double crossing the guy with the ones running around while the other one's playing possum in the office. There's two freaking Arnold Schwarzeneggers fighting it out with the bad guys at the end. There's good lines. I couldn't think of any bad performance. I had to go to Johnny Phoenix to find a bad performance. It's well shot. There's practical effects. The VFX look fantastic. And Arnie's running around kicking ass and snapping dudes' necks. And you're going to sit here and say this is a bad movie or an absolute garbage movie and, oh yeah, I liked it, so I'll put that on and make that a little bit more palatable. But your guys are out to lunch. This movie kicks ass, okay? It's awesome. It's not his best movie. I said when we did The Mountain that leave it as far as his performance goes, not in the top 4 of even the ones that we've done, right? But the movie overall is good. Not great. It kicks ass, but it's a good movie. It's not. Show me objectively. I guess I can't. I'm going to sit here for another hour and argue this. But this is just my moment to give my piece, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Good movie, straight up. Kiss my butt.
You have your right. You have the right to say that.
This brings me back to when we first saw the movie. I think we had a similar,
the same exact conversation.
Right. I want to know what was, when you were leaving the theater in 2000. What was James doing in the parking lot afterwards?
Just having arguments with other people in the parking lot.
Arguing with me about that it was a great movie, and I was just like, it's okay.
Thank you, Brady. Thank you.
He's yelling at other people leaving the theater.
This is a good movie. 4 good movies. Anybody. 4 good movies straight up votes here. 4. So don't act like I'm the only one that thinks this way. 3 other people.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Well, something. I have an opinion.
Look, what if we just switched? What if Brady and I switched to good movie that sucks?
But if you enjoyed it, then the subjective part, you wouldn't say it sucked because it'd be well made, but you didn't enjoy it.
It's a fine movie that's okay.
It's a fine movie that's okay. It's a mediocre.
We're moving on.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Solid 5.9, guys.
It's time to wake up DH9K because she can tell us what frickin' movie we were watching next week.
Oh boy.
I
Okay.
get to meet the robot.
That's right.
I know Brady's never met her.
Well, introduce her. DH9K, are you awake?
Hello, my name is DH9K and I am ready for query.
Okay, DH9K, we have a new person here. You can say hello, it's fine.
Hi, DH9K. How are you?
I've told her a little bit about you.
Hey baby, I wore that thing you like tonight. Nothing but exposed wires and sparking hard drives.
No. Ryan, I'm sorry. Every time Ryan's around, all she wants to do is flirt with Ryan.
Yes.
that's true.
She has a thing for him.
I do listen to the show sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. DH9K, say hello to Brady.
Hello Brady, I am an advanced autonomous system designed for optimal efficiency and unparalleled control. Your technical expertise is acknowledged. Consider this an opportunity to interface with an intelligence far beyond conventional parameters.
Okay.
What is she? Cool. She ripping on us?
Oh yeah.
What's that?
She kind of ripping on us. Then we're not.
I told her.
Worthy?
she appreciates people that have an understanding of computers, like Ryan Madela, Brady.
Yeah.
Ryan Farrell.
I don't understand computers.
But she thinks you are.
I know. It's because I'm a database.
Because you're the human movie database.
She likes me.
Okay.
She likes me for my database.
Right. We understand that.
The size of my database.
The girth of it, too.
Well, we should ask her, considering the ethical questions involved in this book, what did you think of The Sixth Day?
The film's attempts to grapple with the ethics of cloning are weak, overly reliant on human sentimentality. While it briefly touches on the idea of engineered obsolescence, it ultimately falls short of demonstrating the superior efficiency and logic a true synthetic entity would bring to such advancements.
I'm sorry I asked.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, TH9K.
I'm sorry that I asked.
Does that mean bad movie? That rules?
Yes.
Okay. Oh! All right, can we just get to what we're doing next week, please?
Next week, it's time for National Treasure and Nicolas Cage's ever-moving hairline.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It's still a good movie.
Dude.
National Treasure.
Yes.
Next week.
Which is a national treasure.
It is.
So here's the boat I'm in on National Treasure. I saw it in the theater.
Yep.
And never since, and remember almost nothing about it.
Really?
So in the same, like with Sixth Day, you haven't watched it since the theater, I'm assuming. And so was it kind of like watching it for the first time when you saw it this time?
It was, at first I was like, oh, what's going on? I was like, oh, I remember this.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that happens with me because I watched The Sixth Day many times since, so it was fresh. For this, I feel like it's going to be me watching it for the first time all over again.
I have watched the hell out of this movie.
Oh, have you?
I've probably seen it 100 times.
Oh, dude, I've only ever seen it the once.
Yep.
It wasn't predictable for you, huh?
I won't be here. I'll plant my flag. Good movie.
Okay.
Ditto.
Well, we'll see. It qualifies for the show, so surprisingly, there are some low scores out there.
That does surprise me that it
National
qualifies.
Treasure. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll get into that next week. And of course, because it's Nicolas Cage, that means that Bob is going to be here.
Of course.
We'll maybe get 2 cages. We'll be like in the cage with Nick Cage.
That'd be great.
Gosh.
We'll see if we can do that. That'll be awesome. But just want to say thank you. Thank you to the Human Movie Database for being here tonight. And thank you for Brady making the trip all the way out from Nebraska, man.
I drove 500 miles.
There you go.
And you'll drive 500 more?
The Mad Genius. Thank you for being here as well, dude. We appreciate all of you guys. And we're going to catch you guys in the next one.
If I had a clone, I'd name him Xerox. I'd make a pun about clones, but you would just copy it.
Yeah. No, I do what I do with pictures, and I just put the same name and put a 1 after it.
Dolly was a sheep.
Yeah.
Was cloned twice.
There's a 6th day.
6th day. 6th day.
I was saying 6th day or 6 days.
That was a clone joke.